Next time on Star Trek Lexington.
Captain's Log, Stardate.
Hey everybody, welcome to Star Trek Lexington Episode 10, No Good Deed. I am here with a full crew today. Let's do intro, starting over with Chesh.
Hi, I'm Chesh. I'm playing Dr. Trig, and I have my own channel where I do dumb things. And the thing I've just got to ask today is, much like Kirk asks, what does God need with a starship? What does AI need with money?
So, good question. But have you figured out how to put your swimsuit on yet?
Nope. No idea.
Okay. Thierry?
Much like that wine bottle, I ain't got that figured out.
That's a deep cut.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tirana. I'm playing the executive officer Bir Chanos, and I don't do good deeds.
Fair enough. Craig?
Hello, I am Craig, otherwise known as FTFE on these interwebs. I run a channel talking to the lower end IQ spectrum people that think the Earth is flat. It's why I'm going great. Last week I was away. I hope my ship was safe. The Captain, just so you're aware, there's a message in your inbox from Admiral Patak of the Vulcan Assembly. You might want to check that out in a bit. Don't be mad, please.
All right.
Wait.
Jordan.
I'm Jordan. I run the Reason to Doubt YouTube channel. I'm also going to be on Chesh's YouTube channel coming the new year. That's when all my new content's going to come. And I also wear a bow tie there. And here on this channel, I am Captain Hawk, the commander of the Lexington.
And out of curiosity, how did you get the idea to wear a bow tie in the first place? With, like, t-shirts and whatnot?
That is an excellent question. I was on an awards show on the very prestigious Cambrian Bunny Awards, run by one dapper dinosaur.
Oh,
and,
right, that guy.
Yeah, and the host said that I should, like, dress it up, you know? And I was like, I can do that, and I grabbed a bow tie, and thus the look was born.
All right.
I have it on very good authority that bow ties are cool.
That's true.
They are, in fact.
Necro.
Yeah, I'm Necro/Czar, and I play Ali Gom, which is the security officer, and a bird.
Stupid bird.
And, yeah, that's it.
Oh, I forgot. I'm Dapper Dinosaur. This is my channel. You probably know
it's
who I am.
important. Get this. It's not your show. Move on.
Look, I'm just the game mom. Zeralon.
Hey guys, I'm Zerlon. I play Hank Lanford, the Chief Science Officer. Hoping we can get some sciencing done today.
All right. So, before we get going, I do want to say thank you to Urban Imposter for joining the channel at Lieutenant, which means I want to say thank you, Lieutenant Urban Imposter. Urban Imposter also got me this nice new chair that I'm currently sitting in, which, so I don't talk about this very much, but, you know, I have some mild to moderate joint pain here and there, and this chair has already been helping with that in, like, the 2 days I've had it. So, thank you. I really appreciate that. All right. We are ready to go with the Captain's Log. So, Captain Hawk, please take us away.
Captain's Log, Stardate 6285.9. Well, that went well. After weeks of intense meetings, diplomatic promises, and economic considerations, it appears as if the Gorn are no longer interested in eating us. At least, I hope they're not. They're a very proud species, but not as aggressive as one would think, unless they see you as prey, which is a category that no longer includes humanity, thanks in no small part to Captain Kirk's initial contact with them. Cestus III has been mutually designated a Federation border colony, and we've agreed not to encroach on Gorn Territory any further than that. Trade routes have been opened, and diplomats will be exchanged. All in all, the best possible outcome. Now that we've completed our diplomatic assignment to Cestus III, we've been assigned to investigate a previously unexplored region of space. On board is a Federation Ambassador, Jaymala Paret, who has chosen to join us on our circuitous route home as a civilian observer of Starfleet's ongoing mission of exploration. Hopefully, we won't be making any new enemies along the way, and if we do, it's nice to know we have a diplomat on board. Of course, I'd like nothing more than a nice, quiet pulsar, or maybe a trinary star system to discover. Something peaceful, yet new, where I don't have to worry about whether a wrong impression or a perceived slight could lead to all-out war.
All right.
Too bad.
So,
He asked, hopefully.
Who thinks we're just going to survey a trinary system or a nice quiet pulsar? Who thinks that's what's about to happen?
Is that going to be Gorn?
No.
There might be.
What are our mission directives, Admiral Dapper?
As of right now, the only directive you have is the first, Prime Directive. I will be adding directives as they become applicable. Yeah,
Noted.
very fancy.
Yeah,
I also want to
All we
say,
have to do is
sorry.
not violate the Prime Directive. We're boned.
right now, that's it.
If there's Gorn in this episode, does everyone remember the history my character has with the Gorn?
Yes.
The fact that they killed both my parents,
Mhm.
and I had to escape a starship when I was a 16-year-old child.
There's a reason that Captain Hawk picked this particular time frame for your sensitivity training versus when this diplomatic summit was happening.
Yeah.
Also, we have a man who hates green people, so...
Yeah, and again, Captain,
Gorn
please
do
don't be mad when
out
you read
a little bit.
the message from Admiral Paktuk. Sorry, yeah, just...
Also, I want to say thank you to some guy named FTFE, I don't know, but he became a lieutenant commander on the channel, so I appreciate that. So thank you, Lieutenant Commander FTFE. Alright, so it is, in fact, Alpha Shift, which is the shift where the department heads and whatnot are usually awake and on the bridge or at their various other stations. And the Ambassador Paret is on the bridge, and I'm going to say that at least Lanford, Hawk, Chanos are on the bridge. Philby, are you off in the engine room?
No, I'm on the bridge at the moment. I'm at the engineering console.
Regan, where are you at?
I'm in my lab using my very fancy microscopes to look at that goop from those squids.
Got it. Croc, where are you?
I'll be on the bridge, making sure nobody does anything shifty.
All right, Lanford, on your sensors comes in a unusually regular radio signal.
Oh, interesting. Let me get some scans on that.
All right, let's get an insight and science task with a difficulty of 1, which can be assisted by the ship's sensors and science can help.
Sensors and science.
Well,
I hope the ship's got good sensors.
Well, does that difficulty include the reduction of the difficulty class for our advanced sensor suites?
you know what? I did not include that. Thank you for letting me know. That means that you did succeed, but you don't get any momentum. So,
Sadness.
do we get a bonus momentum for our advanced research facilities, or do we need to get one to get the bonus?
you have to get at least one. You have to actually...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, if the ships actually help, or so the systems actually help. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not positive that that's the rule, but also I don't have that much to reveal to this, so it's not going to be a big deal either way. So don't worry about it too much. So, it turns out that there is a degraded video signal piggybacking on the radio waves, which themselves seem to be carrying audio information.
Captain, we're picking up some strange signals. It looks like we have a video and audio going in.
Am I able to
Interesting.
do anything to boost the signal?
Well, let's see. A reason and engineering task could, at difficulty 2, be used to extrapolate whatever data survived in the signal's journey through space.
Okay, well I've got 16 on that. Anyone got higher?
Sounds like it's you.
Okie dokie. No, I don't have any.
Was the ship helping? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I will let the ship work with computers and engineering on that.
Computers and engineering, go.
Unfortunately... Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Getting a threat. I'll take
Bad
that threat,
ship.
thank you. Hey,
Guys,
ship.
I was away for 1 week. What happened to my starship? Like the engineering console, they actually changed the buttons round. Who said
Yeah.
that they could alter the inventory management system?
Well,
I
we
did
had
not
to
give permission for
accommodate
this.
The new fusion generator.
The what?
Yeah, we have 2 of them now. It's great.
No, sorry. Who installed the fusion generator?
The highly professional engineers at Starbase 69.
Starbase 6. Okay. I'm gonna look in. Right, no worries. I'll.
Mr. Lanford, can we extract any audio from what we were able to get?
Oh my God.
All right, can I get the audio up on screen for the captain?
Yeah, so not much comes through. There is a lot of static on both the audio and the video, and you can kind of make out a vaguely humanoid shape. It's vague because of the static, not because it doesn't seem like it might be a humanoid. Of course, it also could just not be a humanoid. It's very hard to make out. And there are some high-pitched sounds, like squeals or something, between the static, which might just be distortion, or it might be the original audio. It's hard to say. The ship can't make heads or tails of it. You feed it through the translation programs, and it's got nothing.
Can we tell what direction it came from?
You might be able to. There's going to be an insight or reason plus science task. It is assisted by the ship's computers and science.
I can get it. Does it help if I tap the screen really hard with a feather? Does that make it look like something?
No.
What does it
Why'd you take my feather?
Alright, so it turns out that it is coming from the direction of a star in the sector that you're exploring, which is the Duratus sector, and that star is designated Alpha Duratus, and it is 4 light years away, which means, if you do the math on that, this radio signal was sent 4 years ago.
That's interesting.
And this is an unexplored region of space. We have no record of civilizations or anything on here. Is that correct?
Correct. And the ambassador who is on the bridge says, Captain,
Yes, Ambassador.
I think it is important that we go to this Alpha Duratus system and investigate. It could be a potential first contact scenario.
So what species is this person?
She's human, but she has an accent.
Well,
Human.
it sounds like first contact with a ambassador on board would be an ideal situation.
I agree.
Set course.
How close are we to Gorn Territory?
Not terribly.
Okay.
You've got like a few hundred light years between you and them.
I don't know who would be flying the ship. Probably Ensign Talk.
Probably.
He's our designated. All right, Ensign Talk, take us to the Alpha Duratus system.
All right.
55,892 billion.
All right. You take off at warp 7, at which point it will take about 3 days to get there.
Well, can't we go at warp 8?
You can go whatever warp you want.
Warp 7's probably fine. We don't need to go into emergency speeds for this routine mission.
Well, in fact, I would encourage doing nothing until I have checked all the work that the people at Starbase 6 Unite.
Well, the
Who
great
said
thing
that they could reroute the power through this console? Who did? Right, Captain. Please don't get anything else done to my ship if I'm not here.
Request acknowledged and denied, Commander.
I can only imagine this is like the Instagram videos where they're like checking the plumbing and it's like shorting out every time they touch a pipe.
Yeah.
So, over the next 3 days, Commander Shelby is running all through various Jeffries tubes and power junctions and whatnot, and is managing to fix all of the rather substandard work that Starbase 69 has done on the Lexington in his absence.
And I have uninstalled the extra fusion generator, and it is in storage where no one else will find it ever again.
No, you definitely have not done that because we actually do need the mechanical benefit from this.
So, by the way,
Okay.
while you were gone,
I've now made it work properly.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's not doing that annoying humming noise anymore that everyone on the ship could hear.
All right.
I kinda like that, but
So,
And just so you're all aware, whoever authorized this is getting a waste pipe diverted to their bunk.
That would be Captain Hawk, so...
careful. All right. So your ship enters the Alpha Duratus system, and the ship sensors indicate the signal is emanating from the vicinity of Alpha Duratus 2. As your ship approaches the planet, you notice 2 distinct landmasses splitting the northern and southern hemispheres. The two are separated by a thin strait of water spreading out into a massive ocean littered with numerous islands and islets. From the even from high orbit, it's easy to see volcanic activity circling the world. Let's see.
Nuke it.
The signal's origin appears to be a space station in low orbit, an orbit that is deteriorating. There is no response to repeated hails, and a reason and science task with difficulty 0, assisted by sensors and science, will show you more information.
Sensors and science.
All right, reason
Why
and
is it only
science.
one?
Oh, is the ship now rolling 1 like it's supposed to? Holy cow! The
It
ship
did.
is rolling 1 die. It's never done that before.
They must
Good
have
job.
updated it.
I have
Hey,
touched
this
with
is what's been going wrong with it, Shelby.
I tested that last week after the session. They made a mistake in the formula.
Oh, thank you.
Interesting.
All right, so your scans show that there is little power on the station, barely enough to pulse the signal, and no life signs aboard.
Well, now that we're close, can we get the signal more clearly?
Yes, I will let you go ahead and repeat those previous tasks. So, let's see. Let's get a reason and engineering. This is going to be difficulty 2 still. Because now that
You
you're
wanna
here
spend-
4 years later, it is, the quality of the signal has degraded, despite your closer proximity.
What's the ship doing?
That'll be...
Computers and engineering, right?
Yeah, computers and engineering.
You can. I think we've got a momentum for you to spend too.
Do you want to spend the momentum?
If you don't.
Who's taking this task?
That should be our engineer, right?
Probably.
Reason
Oh,
engineering.
yeah, sorry, reason engineering, my bad, sorry.
Did you want the... Oh, alright, well, I'll take another threat, thank you.
Yeah, I should have just gone with the bad one.
Alright.
We did succeed though.
You did succeed. So, let me double check. So, in parts of the signal that you can clean up, you can see the space station that you're orbiting in front of. And the voice on the video is almost song-like, with intermittent breaths and high piercing screeches. Occasionally, it switches back to an interior view, and you can still see a degraded but identifiably humanoid shape in the video. Let me get an insight plus science task, difficulty 0. This can be assisted by the ship's, let's see, computers and con.
Well, I've got 14 for that. Whoever,
That's
probably
more
got
than
higher.
me, so...
Science
Same,
is not my
14.
strong suit.
I have
Yeah.
a
Let's
lot of
let-
insight, but
Let's
my
let
science
Lanford
is-
do it because we had Shelby do a few different checks in a row, so... If they have the same number. Alright. And the ship can assist with computers and con. Oh, wow.
Wow, good job, Shep.
Nice, good ship.
Nice.
Yeah, it's now that I fixed it.
The language is... So the computer cannot completely translate it. However, it does identify significant similarities to known Zindi languages.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes. Ooh. Who are the Zindi again?
The Zindi
Yeah,
are...
Captain, we haven't heard from the Zindi
Phoenix,
since
bad
the
guys.
Zindi incident with the NX-01 and Captain Archer. Since then, the Zindi have kind of become a fringe species, only appearing every now and then. So we don't really have much information on them at the moment.
Yeah. They did originally consist of 6 species. One went extinct, and they are a group of 5 species that all gained civilization on one planet, Zindus. And
mammalian, arboreal, aquatic, reptilian, and what was the other one?
Insectoid,
Yes, insectoid. That's right.
and then the extinct one is the avians.
Yes.
I'm afraid you'll have to settle for rare contact instead of first contact, Ambassador.
That is alright. It will still be
take us into the
interesting.
sea.
Thank you. I'm sorry, what?
I was ordering Talk to take us to the station.
Yes. So,
Of course they did, Captain.
Engage.
alright. So, let's see. Give me a insight or reason and engineering check.
Hank, you want to do it?
I would only have a 14 on that.
Me as well.
Who's gonna do it? You have 5 momentum. So it doesn't matter that much. You can just spend some momentum.
Yeah, I'll spend a momentum and do it with 3 die.
Alright. I mean, it's only difficulty 1, so let's see what you got.
Do it.
2 successes. That's 1 more than necessary. The momentum's back.
Yeah.
Alright. So the station is too rickety to withstand a tractor beam, and you now know that it has a time frame of 6 to 12 hours before the station burns up in the planet's atmosphere.
Wow, how fortuitous that 4 years later we happen to hit the right window just before it burns up.
It's very, very lucky.
Well,
and if you had not gone to, if you had just gone at warp 6, then it would have been gone.
Yep.
Man. Captain, structural engineering of the station indicates that a tractor beam would just tear it to shreds. Its orbit is decaying, and I give it a maximum of 10 hours. There is an atmosphere inside that could support life, so we do have time to go over and check it out.
Your scans have not indicated a breathable atmosphere.
Oh, I thought you said that. Okay, can we check that first?
But we can don spacesuits and still go check.
Yeah.
There is no indication of a breathable atmosphere.
Okay, we can wear spacesuits.
Are there any life signs?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, we should send a team over in a shuttle to give tactical flexibility rather than using transporters.
Would you like to scan the planet?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
We should.
Landford's on the bridge. I'm scanning everything.
Would the base station entering the atmosphere pose a threat to the planet?
Possibly. That would be a thing that a scan of the planet would help with.
In my mind, earlier, I was like, we should scan the planet for radio transmissions, and then forgot to direct that to an order. So I'm gonna.
All right. So give me a reason and science task with a difficulty of 0, and it's assisted by the sensors and science from the ship.
Hawk just needs a telepathic crew who knows when he thinks in order.
Yeah, I need to be in command of it.
All right. So let's see. So there are little to no power emanations coming in from sensors. There appears to be an abundance of natural flora and fauna, but no apparent sentient life. There's no response from any attempts to communicate, and the sensors show what appears to be a large nest-like cities in the mountain ranges of the northern continent and an empty desert on the southern landmass. Sensors, however, cannot penetrate the structures of the cities.
Captain, this planet's very much alive. There's some cities here, but we can't really get anything from them with the sensors. I'm not picking up much for like sentient life outside of that, though.
Can we check the path of the station to see if it's going to hit any of those cities when it deorbits?
Yeah, so I will call that a... So because you're not sure exactly when it will hit, you will have to come up with a bunch of probabilities. So I'm going to call that a difficulty 2 insight and science check.
Insight and science. I'll do that with a 14. Or Hank, have you got anything better?
That can be assisted by the ship's computers and science.
Right,
we do have 6 momentum. So
yeah, I'll chuck an extra momentum on that, and I'll do that one. Eee, nice.
All right. So, yep. So it does not appear as if it will hit one of the cities with any high degree of likelihood. However, it's possible. It's just not for sure. Also, I want to say, Ensign Jillian, some guy on a boat at Alren for $2 has said, "Happy birthday to me. Happy maybe morality test?" Well, happy birthday, and we can't confirm or deny a morality test in this case.
Well, at the moment, it doesn't seem very moral, but we should probably check out the station and see if they were observing the indigenous species here, or maybe manipulating them, and anything we can get back to the Federation. And then probably...
That would be my hypothesis as well.
Wait, you, did you say nest-type cities?
Yes. They seem like they're perched up on tall structures, and they're very vertically oriented.
Okay, Captain. So the language of the person on the space shuttle seemed to be Xindi. And if you recall, the Xindi species that was apparently extinct was the avian species. I think it's interesting that the cities on this planet are nest-like, and they have a possible Xindi in orbit.
That is interesting. However, we have to be very careful investigating further, since there's no sign of power radio transmissions from these cities, so they could very well be a non-spacefaring civilization, and thus contacting them in any way would be a violation of the Prime Directive.
It's also possible that it could be an avian Xindi colony, and I think that's worth investigating.
Well, I will authorize you to propose a way for us to surveil the cities in such a way that wouldn't be detected. But any risk of detection would be a non-starter, barring new information.
So far, I don't think we've detected any sentient life down there, Captain.
You have
Well,
not.
our sensors can't penetrate the city, though, right? That's
Right,
what
yes.
we were told. So
Which
they very
also
well could be
means
life in
that-
there.
Which also means that we wouldn't find any energy signatures or other stuff that were inside the buildings. So.
Yes.
Right, but the Prime Directive is such that we can't just hope that they are in fact spacefaring and
No,
kick in the
that
door.
is-
The ambassador comes up to the captain's chair and says, Captain,
Yes.
it would not be a violation of the Prime Directive to go to the space station. It has no atmosphere, very little power. It cannot be inhabited.
Yes, Ambassador, thank you, I'm aware. And so we are going to send a team to the space station. We are not going to send a team to the cities unless we get more information.
Sounds very reasonable.
So, team to the space station, shuttleborne. Who would like to go? Volunteers.
Are you sending a shuttle?
You know, Lanford's on it.
Yes, so I would like to send a shuttle because it's got poor structural integrity. Having a shuttle nearby would give the team more tactical flexibility rather than relying on one point of failure, just our transporters.
Okay. Who's going?
Maybe we could create a new engineering character to go, because right now Shelby doesn't really want to leave the ship after all the things that you guys did to it.
Oh, you
think
mean
we
that?
have a-
Yeah. Who is that? Lieutenant Fitz. You can send your very happy, upbeat lieutenant to go in your stead.
Yeah, or we could create an entirely new character, because we've still got some to create, right?
Well, she is specifically an engineer, so
Yeah.
it seems
And by reactivating her, we could improve her abilities.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. So Lieutenant Fitz, Commander Chanos, if you'd like to lead this mission.
Yes, Captain.
And probably Lanford. And
Hi,
Croc,
Captain.
in case they do find anything dangerous. Yourself or another security officer.
Hi, Captain. I'll
Never
go
knows.
myself.
All right, so let's take a look at Lieutenant Fitz, the Zahayan Lexington engineer. Let's see. Would you like to increase, or sorry, give her a value, increase an attribute, increase a discipline, give her an extra focus, or give her a talent?
I think we should increase some attributes.
All right, which one would you like to
probably
increase?
reason.
Reason? Okay.
Yeah, I think reason would be a good idea.
All right, her reason has gone from a 9 to a 10. I will put down that we have added 1 to her attributes. Okay.
I'm helping, says Lieutenant Fitz in the chat.
Yeah, so that is one thing. It's not written down anywhere, but the idea is that when we need new characters for support, we will try to use the names of channel members. But that doesn't mean we're going to make a new character every single game. So, it's a bit luck of the draw. Do not join the channel just because you want to have a minor character named after you.
No, absolutely do. Absolutely do join the character. Yeah, do that.
Do that thing. Yeah.
One- yeah,
But it's a luck of the
100%.
draw. Just to understand.
It's a sweepstakes situation.
Yes. If you try harder and spend more money, you will definitely win, and
Look,
that is a non-actionable
I'm just trying
trait.
not to get assassinated on the streets of New York.
Oh,
Have you
Hey,
recently
they found that
denied
guy's
a bunch of
backpack
medical
now.
claims?
No, but I'm encouraging what could be seen as a bad investment if people just want their characters named after them.
I don't
are
think
you
that's a bad
regularly
investment.
frequenting the streets of New York?
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm going to New York anytime soon, so I guess there is that.
See that? Yeah.
I could be wrong, but it really doesn't look like New York outside of your windows there.
Well, that's not New York. That's true. But that ship that's going around in circles, I could hop on it and fly to New York.
True.
Yeah.
'Cause this is part of.
so did
That might be the New York star system.
Did you want to run Fitz?
Yeah, sure.
So you will be running Fitz.
What species is she again?
Zahayan.
Zahian, that's the one that has like the spikes that come out her arms, so she has a custom spacesuit.
Mhm.
Right.
Stuff like that.
And what's their personality traits?
They're generally
the personality that she had before was basically the opposite of Shelby, so friendly,
Right.
upbeat, happy.
Okay, I can do that.
Yep.
Helpful.
Also, the
friendly.
species has a reputation.
Maybe a little bit arrogant in terms, so that's like what they have in common, you know.
The species
cool.
has a reputation for being exceptionally tech savvy.
Right, everyone, I'm excited to go on this mission.
Zoomy Tomato has just joined the channel
Always
memberships
a pleasure to
at
have
the
you.
ensign level. Thank you very much, Zoomy Tomato. Ensign
I'm
Zoomy
going to stay
Tomato.
on the ship as
Okay.
character, in case I have a sneaking suspicion that decisions will have to get made.
It's possible. All right, so Chanos
So-
is going,
Dapper-
Lanford's going.
Disconnected for everybody else.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
He
He
appears
froze.
to be frozen.
Yeah.
He's stuck. Oh no!
He
I'll
copied
rejoin.
from-
Okay, quickly, while he's gone, how are we going to blow up this planet?
I am trying to rejoin with everybody. We'll see what happens. The Rabbit for $2 says, we want Ensign Wits gets it in engineering. No, that's a terrible idea. I am trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with my Discord. Is Discord down? Will we have to have a second part to this? We'll find out soon. No route. That's fun. Alright, I'm going to switch to a different scene for a second while we try to figure this out. Says RTC connecting, no route. I think it might be a local problem for me. I will try. I'm gonna go double check to see if there's any problems with Discord. I'm hoping not, because that would be very inconvenient for me and everyone else. I'm checking Discord status. Let's see. Oh, checking the live outage map for Discord. So the internet is fine other than Discord. Like, I have a great connection to YouTube. I'm having no trouble getting audio streaming from what's it? Roll20. I am not seeing any down reports in my area, so that is just great. Excuse me a second, I'm going to go to an intermission screen. Please stick with me.
Guys, we can
That
follow the
is
instructions.
awesome.
That's amazing.
Hey everybody, so we are back. Apparently my Discord though is it's like not sure what to actually capture. So here we go. Now we're really back. Sorry about that everybody.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Discord, man. Discord.
Yeah, Discord.
Yeah. All right. So sorry. So Chanos is going over. Croc, are you going over?
Yeah.
Lanford?
Absolutely.
Fitz is going, not Shelby.
Yes, I am. Excited to go.
Hawk is not going. Tregan, are you going? Okay.
Trigan
We're
staying.
sending all the problem children on this one away mission.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
We
We
are
don't need them.
not expecting any medical problems, but if you want to get rid of us, now's the time.
It might be because we think we need both of us to stop Shelby.
That's true.
Okay. So, you guys get over there in a shuttle, and there are what looked like some kind of airlocks that you might be able to access.
Let's try it.
All right. So your initial attempts don't go so well, but give me a let's see.
Control and con.
No, a fitness and con check.
Well, you're
Okay.
rolling that.
Difficulty
if I may.
two.
That's 13.
Yeah, I only have 8 for that. That's
Sorry,
good.
Chesh, what was that?
As you guys are rolling that, there was a membership that was got by Zumi at the ensign level, so thank you so much, Zumi Tomato, for that. This is while Dapper was having problems, so we likely didn't see him, so I'm just jumping in. And
I
Rabbit
did.
for 2 USD said, we want Ensign Wits gets in engineering.
There's going to be no
but
ensign
we would
who
like
gets
the
it.
ship. We would like the ship to survive. I have 3 successes.
All right. Yeah, no, that's good enough. I forgot to take one momentum off, but that just brings you back up to full. So yeah, you can get in through there. So you guys pass through this airlock, and it's all very zero G. When you get in there, you can see that the station is obviously built and designed for a species that are flight capable. There are consoles lining the upper walls and ceilings. The deck is approximately 30 meters high. There are workstations that have perches jutting from the walls in front of computer terminals so that you could perch on them. The walls also appear to have holes drilled into them approximately 1 meter apart in dual columns leading from the floor to the perches, which it's not clear what those are for.
Grab holes?
Croc is a flight-capable person.
Yes.
Does he have a better idea what it is, since it's more his biology?
Well, I mean, they're definitely perches that he would be able to perch at and use a computer console.
Croc is like, finally, a ship that makes sense.
I like those
He's like, I'm home!
6 feet high corridors. Is there still power here, or?
No, there's minimal power. There's not even gravity.
Am I able to
Probably should be our first.
Yeah, am I able to do anything to try and restore power?
Let's see. Well, first, how are y'all getting around? You got grab boots, or are you going to be just pushing off the walls like it's the space station? Like the International Space Station?
Let's say we got grab boots.
Okay.
I'm used to flying, so I can
The
not.
space suits should have grab boots, but other than that,
Yes, but
they have
you may
hand holes and
choose
stuff. So
you may choose to turn off the grab boots and instead float
soar
around. Yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah, no, I've Fitz has got her grab boots on. Is Fitz a male or female?
I believe it was female. Yeah, female.
Okay, right. Yeah, Fitz has got her grab boots on.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah. Are we able to restore power in any way?
Well, first, you're going to get to the consoles. So, first, who is not using grab boots? Raise your hand.
Me.
Just go you two? All right. Give me control and con, but I'm going to let Croc count as if he had a focus, because this is sort of like his shtick. He's a bird. So, all right.
just flying around.
Chanos, you're good. And
I-
Croc is also good.
I did well.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't need to do that. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay, because now I need
No.
everyone else to give me a fitness and con or fitness and security task. With a
Fitness and
difficulty
con.
of 1.
Fitness and con or what? Sorry.
Or
security.
Yeah, con or security, your choice.
Doesn't really matter.
Okay, fitness, it does, because I'll go that, right, so... There we go.
Alright, so let's see. That looks like everyone has succeeded, so good job.
I'm rolling
Wow,
a lot
I
of
can't
ones
believe
when
I
they're not
succeeded
really
in that one.
necessary. I can't wait to fail in an important situation.
So, you guys have all managed to get to various consoles that you're looking at. Some of them seem to have, like, standby mode enabled or something. But, you need a reason and engineering task to figure out what the station needs for power.
Reason.
They have the little
engineering.
icon bouncing on the screens.
Yeah, but it never goes into the corner. Ever.
Oh, Lieutenant Fitz. Oh, damn it! I pressed the wrong button.
Looks like you pressed the right button, though. That's the thing. That's what I'm seeing. Does anyone else want to try a a reason and engineering? I'll let at least one more person do it.
Yeah, I can do it.
I'm not good at that.
Now, you
I'd like
have
to
6
spend momentum,
momentum. Yeah, you have 6. Do you want to spend 1 or maybe 3? I don't know.
Let's spend 3.
That's
okay.
probably a good idea.
Alright, this is difficulty 2. Alright, you got 2 back.
Wow.
You got 4 successes.
Good job, Hank.
Got to spend momentum to get momentum.
That's generally true.
Yeah.
Alright, so, let's see. It turns out that you can reroute what little power is left to restore some life support. If you can actually successfully reroute it, but like you figure out what needs to be done to get at least enough power to get the computers and the life support working. So doing that,
Care
however,
about the life support?
I mean, maybe if you want to be able to take your helmets off.
It would be nice.
So I can only say that while Lamford was doing that, he wasn't thinking of how to get it right. He was thinking, what would piss Shelby off the worst? What would cause like Shelby to come after me? And then he just didn't do that.
Yeah.
Really, what would piss Shelby off is trying to power the station from the ship somehow.
Yeah,
Well,
you don't need to do that,
not if
right?
it got rid of the stupid new generator.
I mean,
Quick, eject the warp core. We'll put it in over here.
you don't need to do anything in particular. But if you want more than basic power, you might have to do something. But would you like to do an insight and engineering task to route power to the consoles and restore at least life support?
Yes, and I'm going to use the momentum.
Okay. So that was successful. That's 2 successes. That's all you needed. So life support comes back on. The room fills with a nitrogen-oxygen mix atmosphere. Significantly more oxygen than you're used to. Also, significantly lower pressure. It's about 1/3 of Earth surface level pressure. However, given the high amount of oxygen, the partial pressure of oxygen should allow all of you to safely breathe. We're basically doing the Apollo style, filling the room with air, like super low pressure, but lots and lots of oxygen. So I guess it's okay.
Captain,
So we have trouble breathing, but we will still all burn to death.
Yeah, we are now able to take off our helmets if we like, because the atmosphere is breathable. I would suggest we do it.
Considering that this station might break apart any moment, I won't.
Okay. I will let anyone who wants to keep their helmets on, feel free. So it also, as the consoles flicker on, you can tell from their various displays that there is not enough power to activate any of the ship's thrusters, which would allow you to boost your orbit. So you're going to be in this disintegrating orbit, at least if you keep on just this station's power.
Okay. Is it possible to reroute some power from the ship?
It is, if you can succeed at a difficulty 3 insight or daring and engineering task. Also, Cal has just joined the channel at the ensign level. Welcome, Ensign Cal.
Daring and engineering.
We have 4 momentum.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna use all of them then and get 4 die. Is that right?
Well, that would
Three
only
is a
require
great
3, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use 3 of them.
Alright, well that is 3 successes on a difficulty 3. So, you actually find that there are solar panels on this, and you can direct the ship's deflector dish to direct photons of the peak efficiency wavelength for the solar panels in high concentrations, allowing you to power up which means that you can at least delay the destruction of the station until you're gone.
Captain, it seems that the panels on this station are highly efficient at using the photoelectric effect. We could generate some photons from the ship's deflection disk and power the station that way to get some extra juice.
We have a lore question. DM Denver Canada Wing says, weren't the Xindi founding Federation members? They were not.
No.
They do eventually apply for Federation membership, but as far as I know, that has not happened at this point in the...
Happens in the 26th century.
Pretty sure they're part of the Federation
In at least
the
one
future.
timeline.
Yeah. I know that they're going to be available as player species in the next campaign, but that doesn't necessarily mean they join the Federation, because there will be a lot of species that aren't Federation members that are available.
There's another one that states 2382, when the Xindi had officers serving in Starfleet.
Yeah, they're definitely part of the Federation in the 32nd century.
Okay. Well, there you go.
The big question is, with all of the birds, can we play a Cloakian?
I have not made that decision yet, so... the answer there is maybe. If you super want to play a Cloakian, let me know. When we get there, we're not even close. Alright, so... I'm going to change the scene. We are down to 0 momentum. And the video monitors instantly flicker to life once you have the power up. All of them. Oddly, they all display the same image of what appears to be a series of operating cryogenic tubes, which may or may not be on the station. There is a unique symbol adorning each of the doors of each tube. But also gravity comes back, which means, let's see. Hey, Chanos.
Let me guess, I have to roll a fitness roll.
Yeah, I'm going to need a fitness and security check from you. It's going to be difficulty 2.
You're going to hit the ground.
Yeah, everyone else
I'm going to spend 1 momentum to get a 3rd die.
Oh, too bad you don't have any momentum.
Then I'll give you a threat.
Okay.
He's already got 14, are you sure?
Now we've got 15.
If he's got 14, what's 15?
Oh,
Yeah,
well, hey,
true.
that's 3 successes, so I'll give you that. Let's see, here we go. 1, 2, 3... Oh, no, sorry, that was only difficulty, so you only get 1 momentum. So, yeah, you managed to grab on to one of the perches before you come tumbling the 10 or so meters from where you are down to the deck.
Next time, please give a warning.
My bad. That's what the grab boots are for.
All right, so now that you have power back on and the station is safe for now, what is the plan?
Can I bring up a map on one of these computers of this station?
Yeah, sure. So you managed to bring up a map, and it shows you that where you are right now is a main, control hub. There are laboratories, as well as a data core that is a deck above you.
Okay, are we able to determine where the video signal of the cryogenic pods is coming from?
Nothing on the map indicates a location for cryopods. So,
well, are we able to see if the signal is coming from outside the station? Is there, are we receiving a video signal from other places?
It does not seem that you were receiving a video signal from other places.
Yet the video shows a cryogenic pod. Okay.
Could be a recording.
It could be.
Or it could be on another deck if the memory core is on the deck above. Who knows?
Yeah. It seems that according to the map that our bird friend has brought up, there is a data core a deck or so above us.
Should probably check that out.
Probably get some data then. That's something Starfleet would be most interested in.
Okay, can we go to the data core then?
Yeah, so it turns out that to get there, there's actually no, easy access without climbing. The holes drilled in either side of the wall do provide handholds, so that helps. And the passage between the decks is just like a Jeffries tube with 2 rows of cylindrical tubes, or the same cylindrical holes drilled into opposite sides of the circular walls. I'm sorry. Which continues about 30 meters towards the next deck. As you squeeze through there one by one, at the far end of the entrance to the deck is a door with the same symbol that you saw on the video monitors. It is not locked. Would you like to open it?
Any objections?
Once
I'll leave my helmet on, or put it back on.
Once we are all together and no one is hanging in midair, then yes, we should probably open it.
Oh, okay, security officer. I think this is your job.
Yeah.
I press the button or whatever is required to open the door.
Suspicious button pushing is always security.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you open up the room, you find that there are about
Zombies.
a dozen and a half corpses on the deck. 6 of them seem to be some kind of avian humanoid species, and about a dozen other are just foot-long carapaces with skeletons protruding from between their various chitinous plates that greatly resemble centipedes.
Okay.
Wow, interesting. Tricorders out and get some scans.
All right, give me an insight and science task. Difficulty 0.
Yeah, tell us if those things are alive.
I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back.
All right, with 2 successes, that gains you 2 momentum. And it turns out that these centipede-like creatures seem to have at some point been sapient organisms because they have spaces in their skeletons which retain residue from like glial and neuron cells that seem to have been significantly larger than you would expect and would have been more than large enough to allow them to be a thinking species with a civilization.
Ooh.
Do we have data on these insectoid Zindi? Could they be some of those?
So the insectoid Zindi were about human size, and they had 4 major limbs and 2 minor limbs, and they were much more like insects than they were like centipedes.
Doesn't sound like centipede.
So yeah, these are definitely not
These are a
Zindi
new thing.
insectoids.
Could this be a 7th Zindi species?
I mean, who are you asking?
I'm just speculating.
Okay.
Hank, do you think that this could possibly be a 7th Zindi species?
I mean, it would be possible, but we wouldn't have. There's nothing really to indicate that. Definitely a sentient creature, though.
Could you
If they were Zindi species, shouldn't they share some DNA with the avian ones? Maybe these are the native species of this planet?
Yeah, Hank, are you able to check if they share any DNA?
Yeah, can my tricorder get me some readings on that?
Do you have a medical tricorder?
I don't.
You're probably going to have to bring samples back to the ship then.
Unfortunately, look, anything like that would either require a medical tricorder or being brought back to the ship. I would like to take some samples.
And we should probably take samples and see if we can find out later, yeah.
Alright.
They're not moving or breathing or anything, right?
No, they're skeletons.
They're
Okay, they're
obviously
skeletons.
desiccated,
I missed that part.
And
Okay,
this setting does not normally have undead.
Okay, I didn't know they were skeletons.
So now
Unless
we've
they're
covered some
nanotech.
samples of the dead things. We're at the data core, right?
So you are getting towards the data core, but you are currently in a cryo chamber with these cryotubes.
Are any of the cryotubes occupied?
So they all have frozen material in them, and there are about 20 of them.
Frozen material?
Considering that
Yeah, tricorder
they
out.
were
scanning
running on
away.
emergency power, are they still alive?
So
yeah, I was about to say, are we detecting any life signs?
you're not detecting life signs, but they are still frozen, and I would like a reason and medicine task with a difficulty of 1 if you're scanning them, which I believe Lanford just said that he was.
I'm
yeah,
not
scanning
good
them.
at that.
He's the scan man.
All right, well, that is 2 more successes than he needed. Let's see.
Nice.
So
Good
let's
scanning,
see.
Hank.
So these are frozen and possibly viable embryos.
Ooh.
Oh,
what?
yeah. I'm going to open my comm and Captain.
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
We have found cryo chambers with frozen viable embryos in it.
Say that again?
We have found cryo chambers that contain frozen, possibly viable embryos.
Interesting. Are we going to be able to evacuate these possibly viable embryos, or at least determine what species they are?
I can't do that on site without a medical tricorder. It's a little bit out of my wheelhouse here.
Could we not have a medical tricorder beamed over?
Well, we have labs on the ship. Commander Chanos, have your team prepare the cryotubes for evacuation, and prepare samples to be evaluated by the labs on the ship.
Perhaps even
Is it
notify
a good
Dr. Tregan.
idea to transport that biological material to our ship without scanning it first? I think
we'll transport it to a containment in sick bay that's set up for the purpose.
Okay, we'll prepare it.
And
I will take what scans I can get without a medical tricorder, and I will forward that to the ship for Dr. Tregan.
Dr. Tregan, Captain Hawk.
Yes, Captain.
We have 20 frozen future possible babies to come aboard.
Excuse me, Captain?
The away team. Don't worry, you'll see when it gets there.
No one did
Do I need to prepare anything?
Yes, and I'll have my science officer give her a rundown of what is needed.
Oh, why didn't you... Okay, thank you, Captain. I'll get that prepared.
All right. Someone give me a reason in medicine task, difficulty 0.
Still not my strong suit.
I've got 12.
I have minimum. Which
It's
is
literally difficulty 0. It doesn't matter. Just someone roll it. Okay, there we go. Good job. It's difficulty 0. It doesn't matter. So after looking at the various corpses, you can see that they don't seem to have any kind of damage from trauma. None of the carapaces are split open. There are no broken bones. Everything seems to be intact. So, however, all of these 12 creatures died, it does not seem like it was violent.
I will make note of that.
Is there any way we can determine how the atmosphere was evacuated from the ship before?
So nothing in the logs indicate any particular problem, but there are also space stations aren't perfectly airtight, and if they run out of power, they will slowly just lose their atmosphere.
Right.
The question is, did the crew die before everything went to shit, or did it go bad and then they died?
Yeah, they're airtight on the time frame of days to weeks, but on the time frame of years, no, they're not.
It's possible that it lost power and they weren't able to get it back up, and they were suffocated.
Maybe they were poisoned and couldn't fix the station. We probably have to wait for the medical team to find out. Let's set up markers for the transporters so they can get the embryos out, and then we should check these data cores. Maybe the data core will have a ship's log or something that we can check.
On it, sir. Preparing the pods for transportation.
All right. So that transport goes off without any particular problems. There's no particular barriers in the station to transport or anything. So let's see. Dr. Tregan, give me an insight and medicine task with a difficulty of 2, which can be assisted by the ship's computers and medicine.
The ship did, in fact, not help.
Well,
I love this ship.
It helps sometimes.
Well, if you hadn't sent it to Starbase 69...
It's doing its best.
Did I get that reason in medicine from you? Or sorry, insight in medicine?
That's you, Tregan.
It's difficulty 2.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
I can tell.
Momentum.
Yeah, we have 5 momentum. Would you like to spend any of it?
Yeah.
How much?
Spend it.
Give me extra dice, please.
How much?
Just one extra dice.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
listen,
Well, that is
I rolled
3
a
successes.
0, a 1, and a 2. 3 successes.
So, yep, 3 successes. So, you learn a couple things. One is that there are indeed viable embryos, and that some of them,
I'm just like, good, bad, good, bad, good,
some of these embryos do indeed match the genetic profile for creatures from Zindus, but the others do not, and in fact are a completely unknown genetic structure. Also, there is some kind of bacterial spore that is now dead, but that, based on what's left of it and its various proteins, what looks like it was definitely an infectious parasite of multicellular organisms.
Well, I think I might have found out why they evacuated the oxygen. Captain,
Yes, Doctor.
I believe I might have found the reason for what may have happened and what the signal was about. It looks like there's some kind of infectious spore that has been spreading around. That looks like it is dangerous for our variety of life.
And the spore is still active?
The spore that I'm looking at is currently dead, but it would be very good to start scanning and making it part of our medical information, just in case anybody brought one that might still be alive back.
Understood.
I.e., I'm telling everybody that was on there needs to quarantine.
You're gonna get some of that decontamination gel going.
Yep. Everybody get
We're gonna have
Also
a
on the
sexy
inside, so
scene
check
with Chanos rubbing it on Fitz back. Are we?
Yeah, there you go.
You're getting gooped inside and out.
Well,
I mean,
under
let's face
UV
it, that
lights.
scene in Enterprise was basically porn, right?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
but
it was cheesecake, but yeah. All right, so we are switching not just scenes but acts, which means, Captain Hawk, I have sent you 2 supplemental captain's logs. Would you care to please read the first one?
Okay. Captain's Log, Supplemental. Our arrival in the previously unexplored Alpha Duratus system has led us to a profound, if troubling, mystery. A peaceful Class M world, 2 major continents, what appears to have been 2 distinct species of sentient life. The first appears to be refugees from what was considered the previously extinct species of the avian Zindi. The other looks like a species of intelligent centipedes, which we believe are a race indigenous to Duraden. We've also located a derelict space station, 3 dozen corpses, and a distress call via radio sent 4 years ago. Ship sensors indicate numerous cities in the northern hemisphere, believed to be of... Is that... I think that's
Zindi. Yeah, that's Zindi.
Zindi design. Attached to armatures drilled into the mountains. Many have apparently been detached violently and sent falling to the ground below. We've detected no sentient life whatsoever on Alpha Duratus 2. A mass extinction event, maybe? At this point, we don't have enough information, but I'll be damned if I'm not gonna find out what happened here once the doctor gives us the okay to beam down.
All right, so, Doctor, it looks like, as it currently stands, this bacterial pathogen doesn't seem super likely to infect any of the crew. However, there might be an exception for Croc because of his avian affinities, but that's not clear. However, it's likely that just keeping everyone in spacesuits would be enough, even if the bacterium is fine, so...
Yep. Advising away team on safety protocol of don't take off your helmets.
Noted.
Sort of dog. That was
Sorry,
fun.
don't mind Puck. He's been being a weenie all day.
Aw, poor Puck. Does
Not
he need...
even all day, actually. That's a lie. As
Maybe-
soon as I got on this call, he started being a weenie.
Maybe he has a boop deficiency.
Come here.
Did you say he has a boob deficiency?
Boop.
Boop. With a P at the end. Boop.
Ah,
boop at the snoot.
Boop is a really good
Have
2-player board game,
Have
actually.
Doesn't wanna.
That's not. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so at this point, since we've detected Xindi and possibly indigenous life on the space station, it seems that whatever life would be on the planet will have been contacted from a spacefaring species, which would alleviate our prime directive concerns.
You're the captain.
I'm composing the justification in my mind as
the ambassador approaches and says, Captain, it's possible that the Doradans have only been lightly contaminated.
Just a little bit of contamination as a treat.
Oui, just a bit.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Petit.
Right.
Just a little bit of prime directive breaking.
Can we determine if the cities are occupied prior to going in?
Not 100%, but there are no active power signatures that you're finding, and even though your scans can't penetrate into the interior of the buildings, no one's flying around them. So, like, if there's still people there, they're all inside all the time, which is possible, not hugely likely.
Do we have any directives for this mission yet?
Oh, yes, we do, sorry. Let's see. Investigate the plummeting space station and obtain information that will help explain what happened there. You did that. Learn about any sentient species on the planet, covertly if possible. Follow any and all first contact protocols applicable. Attempt to discover the nature of the extinction event on the planet, and answer the conundrum presented by the discovery of the cryo chamber.
Dun dun dun.
Perhaps we could use the space station to try to contact covertly see if anybody's there, but I don't know.
Well, they haven't responded to any calls prior to now.
Yeah. Well, is there anything in the data core that tells us about the planet?
So the data core for the space station is all telemetry from the space station, as well as indications about their experiments with cryogenics, which seem to have been successful.
So nothing at all relating to the planet.
They were threatened by a deadly disease, and they set this station up as a life pod, maybe, but succumbed to their illness before they could finish it. But we should still find out more.
Yeah. Okay. So, are we able to scan the cities at all and find out if there's a way in or anything in them at all?
Let's see. Yeah, give me an insight and command check with difficulty 1.
Insight and command. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, you do that.
And how much momentum do we have?
4.
We have 4.
Insight and command. I'll spend 1 momentum to get 3. Or 3 dice total.
Okay. And it was difficulty 1, so you got 2 successes, so we're bringing you back up to 4. So, the cities, there's no way of accessing the buildings from the ground, which means that unless you're Croc, you might need to either continuously beam between locations or just bring a shuttle. There are no ways to, while there are no ways to access the buildings from the ground, they do have just doors on various platforms. Basically, the city is made of all sorts of different buildings that just jut right up into the sky, and there are landings that are roughly big enough to get a shuttle on pretty comfortably. However, you do also notice that there are extremely high winds, so careful.
Okay, so given the nature of the structures, I think we can confidently say that if they were not made by the indigenous species, and given that there's no easy access from the ground, it seems unlikely that the indigenous species would be occupying them. And that's the justification I'm going to use when Starfleet inevitably questions my decisions to send this away team down in the shuttle.
Captain, I would like to go with the shuttle.
Naturally, Ambassador, of course.
Do you have extra spacesuits?
Yes, we have spacesuits that can be... if we need one, it can be fabricated to your dimensions.
Wait, do we need spacesuits on the planet? What's the atmosphere on the planet?
We do because of the potential
spores. That's the atmosphere on the planet.
At least I don't want to die. Maybe.
Just one big old miasma.
I
So-
am not informing the crew about how dangerous these spores may or may not be. I'm not telling them that it's likely they won't be affected, and that maybe Croc will only be the one at any serious risk. I am simply telling them there are spores. Don't take off your helmets, you numpties.
So, given that
Deadly
the
spores.
ambassador wants to come, Hawk is also going to go
Okay.
to prevent misunderstandings. So,
I
think
will.
Go ahead.
I will stay racistly in control of the ship and let you go down and do the diplomacy.
I think Shelby should go this time in case
All right.
there's any like doors or anything that need engineering.
Okay. So Captain's going.
Trigan.
Shelby.
I will go too because there might be people living there and they might attack us for one reason or another.
Okay. And
Plus,
what
having
about,
a bird in a place designed for birds is probably handy.
what about
Yes,
Lanford?
that too.
You know, Lanford's going. There's new things to scan.
Fair enough.
Gotta
All
It's
catch
right.
all
them all.
here, except for Chanos. Does
Also,
Chanos want to play a background character?
You
Maybe
we could bring in what is it, Ensign what was it, Leonardo H. Tua, I believe.
As security, or Ensign Talk to pilot us down.
Yeah. Ensign Talk to pilot you down might actually be a pretty good idea.
I'll do that.
So you
All
are
right.
playing Willem Tuck.
The Vulcan, yes, right. Yeah.
All right. So let me pull up
So it puts us at 3 crew.
all right, let me check one attribute increase. All right. So
These
Talk has
characters
already had
need gender and personality.
yeah.
Gender, male, personality, Vulcan.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
let's see. Talk has
Currently
already
counting stars.
had an attribute increased by 1. So now it's down to you can add a value, you can increase a discipline by 1, you can choose an additional focus, or you can get an additional talent for Willem Talk.
Well, as they're piloting us down, and he mentioned winds, maybe you should have a focus on like dangerous flying or something.
They've already got to focus on helm ups.
Well, they already
Yeah,
have
and
a
shuttlecraft
focus on
operations.
and shuttlecraft,
Yeah.
so we
Okay.
could always raise their con to 5, or maybe their security to 3 or something.
Can you raise con to 5? I know there's limits.
Yeah, you can do it.
All right.
I think 5 is the
That-
limit.
Con to 5
Yeah,
then.
All
sounds like a
right.
good idea.
That has been added, and let me make a note that they have had one
It's been raised.
discipline increase.
I'm going to make a note to myself to look up for a potential talent for Talk when they inevitably got pulled again.
All right, unless Talk dies.
Don't take Talk away from me. Don't take poor sweet Ensign Talk.
I don't currently have any plans to kill off Talk, but I didn't have plans to kill off Malar either. So
There were just too many robots in that room.
yeah, there were a lot of robots, weren't there? There,
Told you to
Commander
stop shooting
Chanos.
them.
Okay, so
To be fair, Shelby probably didn't mean to kill an entire solar system either.
2.
Lots of mistakes.
Nah, probably. At least
Oops, sorry.
subconsciously.
all right, so as you're flying down, I would like a reason and science task. If you have
Okay.
any focuses in geology, that would definitely help.
No geology.
No,
I
I've
probably
got six-
should have
I've
got
got
my
16,
focus for
so-
infectious diseases on my.
Yeah, you should have. Oh well.
Oh,
So let's see. That is 2 successes more than you needed, which is just you got 2 successes. So it turns out that as you're flying down, you see that the buildings that these cities are made of look like they're made of the same volcanic rock as the surrounding mountains, which you know from your previous scans is in fact magnesite, which will be the reason that you cannot easily scan through the buildings, because the magnetic interference is just going to be too strong for that.
As we're in the shuttle, I turn to Tok and I say, "Hey, Tok, I was I was at Vulcan recently for some sensitivity training. Lovely planet you got there."
Fury, how does Talk respond?
He said the sensitivity training.
Yeah.
About this planet.
Well, I just wanted to know. I made the instructor cry twice. Is it normal for Vulcans to cry?
Oh. No, maybe she was hurt or ill.
No, I think just my presence seemed to annoy her. I'm banned from Vulcan now, actually.
I can't raise one eyebrow, but Talk does.
Got it.
We should play Calto sometime. The Talk. I'm really quite good at it. It's poor man's Jenga.
Fascinating.
Heads
What
up.
is Jenga?
Heads up, Talk has a specialization in Calto. That's a focus of his.
Yes.
Literally on the character sheet. So, alright.
I did just defeat a Calto master, though.
I would like to send back to the ship the information we just gained about the material, so they have ahead of time know that we might have some signal issues here.
Alright.
Okay.
So, as you fly down, the city appears to be made up of numerous spires, each culminating in a flat space from which more spires reach upward for kilometers. Thousands of pole-shaped objects, some a quarter kilometer, there we go, in diameter, jut up into the sky, with numerous perches extending from the vertical poles and leading into what appear to be homes or businesses. Occasional skeletons can be seen lying shattered on the ground. What appear to be light posts reach skyward and are all dark. Each flat area or perch is wide enough to be called a landing pad of sorts, although they are not very wide at all. This taking the shuttle down is going to require a control or daring plus con roll with a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
Dapper, you said a quarter kilometer. As an American, I don't know what that is. Could you give me that in half giraffes?
No, I cannot.
Cheeseburgers would normally help.
Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, Craig, if you could convert that to Scottish sheep units, that would be really appreciated.
The shuttle ops focus probably applies, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Craig has gone off to grab a calculator.
What was the difficulty? Sorry.
Difficulty 2. You have 6 momentum.
I would like to spend 3 momentum.
Does the
Okay.
shuttle
Roll
help him?
for die.
You know what? Yeah, the shuttle can with its
It probably can, but it doesn't have great stats,
engines
so-
and con. Engines and con.
The shuttle did
Does not help.
but it
I
didn't
mean-
give threat.
But I
which is
rolled
what's
4, so we get 2 momentum back.
Yes, you do, and you do successfully land.
The shuttle helped one time so far in this.
All right. I am going to spend 3 threat to introduce the trait Gale Force Winds.
Uh-oh.
There are now Gale.
Oh, go ahead.
There are now Gale Force Winds, which means that whenever landing on one of the landing pads, it will require a check to for you guys to stay upright. So, otherwise, you might have to crawl on your bellies. All right. So,
excellent flying, Ensign. Let's go.
all right. So, everyone, give me a fitness and command task with a difficulty of 1.
Fitness and command.
Command.
If anybody wants to use momentum, do that.
Yeah, I'm going to take a momentum on that because my rolls on these aren't good.
Is that for being in command of your own body?
I think I...
Regan, you only rolled 1 die, by the way. You get 2. Hey.
All right. So let's see.
Trigon's good at everything.
You're back up to 6 momentum, which is the good news. The bad news is that Hank Lanford has been knocked over by the wind. Give me a fitness and science task with difficulty of 1, Lanford.
He's calculating, like, the angles of wind.
All right. Yeah, basically. All right, so you have managed to find a way to crawl yourself to safety. And there is a building in front of you that is, in fact, open.
I managed to, like, reach out my hand to, like, grab him, to, like, pull him.
Nice. Lisa says FTFE is a clone, so is he really in control? That is an interesting question.
I'm not a clone.
Are you sure?
Well, of course, I'd know if I was a clone, right?
Check under your eyelids. Do you have the dots?
Well, I've got a barcode.
Sounds cloney to me. I don't know.
Look, if I was a clone, then the way I wake up in the morning would be different to all of you. And like all of you, I wake up in a pod full of goo every single morning, right?
Yeah, that's
Right.
normal to me.
Yeah,
So
sounds
I'm not
about
a
right.
clone.
All right, fair enough. I guess you're not a clone.
As a goblin, can confirm pot of goo.
By pod you mean a bed, and if by goo you mean piss and sweat, yeah.
I think you need to see a doctor.
Well, now I'm the weird one.
All right, so once you manage to crawl inside the building, it's very clear that you're in a domicile of some sort. I can't talk. Sorry.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
No, I'm Cock.
Well, that's
Turns out it's not just the Discord that's having issues tonight.
yeah, it's my actual brain, or maybe it's just my mouth. And I'm not a linguist. So,
Not a cunning linguist.
well, I didn't say that. All right, so
I'm telling you.
the power is in fact down, and let's see. Do you want to bring it back up?
Do you mean down or south? Sorry, I told too many flat earthers. My bad.
The
yeah.
power is off.
It's off. Unlike, which is how the Nile should be if the globe is round, because then it would be flowing uphill, which doesn't make any sense. So
No.
Yeah, everyone knows south is down.
right,
Yeah.
Look, what is down is a hard question for flat earthers.
it really is.
Well, a hard question for flat earthers is how do I eat breakfast without digging my out of a spoon?
Well, I just assume that they all just eat like a breakfast sandwich, so they don't have that problem.
Pop-Tarts.
Just like how they all have
Pop-Tarts.
Velcro shoes and
Yeah.
sippy cups.
Yeah, sippy cups with like the cover on top specifically.
The cover on top and the bottom that like always wobbles but never falls down.
There you go.
Yeah, but somehow they still manage to spill that sippy cup and set fire to it.
Well, unfortunately, they're all strong enough to pull the cover off, so like it doesn't work super well. All right. But yeah, there is no power in the building.
Child-proof, like pill bottle tops.
Flat earthers are the reason why there is warning labels on boxes of like needles and stuff. Warning, sharp. Well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Warning
I think
labels
we should
were a
remove the
mistake.
warning labels
Are
and
there-
let the problem solve itself.
Are there any obvious corpses around?
No, not inside that you can see.
Okay.
Alright.
All right, well, let's keep going deeper and see if we can find a computer or something like that, or a power source.
Well, let's see. Give me an insight in science, difficulty 1.
Does anybody want to make that roll, or should Lanford do it?
It's science.
Talk is not a science guy.
Or an insight guy, if I remember correctly.
I mean, science is
neither.
kind of my jam here.
All right, so let's see. That got you. Yeah, well, you're all full momentum anyway. So it turns out that you were definitely going to need an outside source of power to charge this up. Let me get a reason or insight and engineering task, difficulty 2.
Reason engineering, I'll do that. I'll use my momentum.
How much?
Just one.
1. Okay. So yep. Let's see. You realize, there, Commander Shelby, that you could jury-rig up the power cell of a tricorder or a phaser to one of the electrical conduits in the house, and that would probably give you enough to power up the house for at least a little while.
Well, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'll offer
I'll
up
offer up my phaser. I don't
yeah,
need it.
Lanford's probably the... I was going to offer mine since I'm more punchy, but...
I'm more apt to use my tricorder than my phaser, even in combat.
Okay.
Hey, Hank, do you fancy handing me over your phaser?
Yeah, I will definitely hand it over in the proper right way, and not like barrel pointed right at finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
Hank's definitely good.
Wow, trigger discipline,
Hank, I
gun
appreciate
safety.
your weapon handling. That's very good. Thank you.
In the original series, trigger discipline didn't exist yet.
No.
When I was in boot camp and we were doing our initial training on handguns, trigger discipline and point the muzzle in the right direction did not exist.
Yeah, so what happens is I say, oh, Hank, I really appreciate your trigger discipline there. Thanks very much. And as I turn around the phaser, I accidentally fire it and it just misses Hank's head.
All right.
Fascinating.
I'm going to now take this battery out.
Okay.
Okay, so I've done the jerry-rigging.
All right, so some lights come on in the home, and a screen pops up, which seems to be a computer screen.
Hank, do you want to check out that interface?
Interesting. Yeah, let me get a tricorder over there, see what I can figure out on this computer, see what we got going on here.
At some point, I would also like to just scan the general atmosphere for more goop,
Pathogen, yeah.
spore
Alright.
stuff,
So
medical things.
while you're doing that, I'm going to point out that Ambassador Paret is looking out of the windows and seems to be examining the architecture and layout of the city. When you get to the computer, I would like an Insight and Engineering difficulty 2 check.
All right, and I have a focus on computers.
All right,
Yes,
so you're going to
you
do... There we go. Difficulty 2. All right, well, that is 2 successes. So, there is no power to the city, which means that the computer network that the city once had is, in fact, not active. You have no internet access. However...
Oh, that sucks.
It does show you... It does have a map of the city that was already downloaded, which does include a wind power generator on another tower. One that houses some of the city's government offices. So... Yeah, I mean...
Is there any solar power around, like the station had?
Not on the house or that you can see on the map. But there is the wind farm, and it is very windy.
So these people clearly died from a lack of internet, and we should probably go get that wind farm up and going again.
Yeah.
I concur.
How far away is the wind turbine?
Shuttle trip away?
Okay.
As far as the plot requires.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Given
Yeah,
that,
well,
I think we should get back on the ship. And before we get out there, I'm going to pull Lieutenant Croc aside and say, Lieutenant, I have an important mission for you.
Sure, go ahead.
Your mission is to stay within arm's reach of the Ambassador, wing's reach of the Ambassador at all times, and make sure she gets back on the ship without a single bruise.
Got it.
All right.
And I walk over to her.
He's like measuring out.
Yeah. You hold out a wing and you're like,
All right, guys, I'm going to do a quick intermission because I need another beverage. It is getting thirsty over here. So we're going to take a quick intermission, and then we will be back in 5 minutes or less is how much time y'all have. All right.
Awesome.
Okay. I'll take a bio break.
We are back sans Captain Hawk for some reason. So, the next thing, right? All right. So, it is another scene. It is another scene, however, I'm going to spend another 12... Sorry, not 12. What am I doing? 3 threat. I could. I totally could. I'll spend another 3 to keep Gale Force Winds in play. No, it wouldn't be that bad. Okay. So basically, I can end a scene with a sudden reversal of fate, as long as I don't actually kill anyone, or double as much threat as there are players currently in the scene. So, yeah, that is a thing I can always have in my back pocket anytime I have twice as much or more threat as the number of players. So, you know, careful once you reach that threshold of 12 or more threat. So yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, give me some, let me double check what they were, because I don't remember. Yeah, give me some fitness and command checks. Okay. That is 2 threat that I'm getting. That's nice, thank you. So let's see. Croc, you are...
Oh, that's good.
Dapper
Take a drink for Dapper's a professional.
Okay, Dapper's a professional drink.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep, everybody muted.
In honor of Chesh, this has Canadian whiskey in it. Plus, coming soon, that Canadian whiskey that was $15 for a bottle is going to be like $40, so, you know.
The wife and I had a dark and stormy with our dinner earlier. Oh my god.
I love dark and stormy.
Good choice.
Oh, so good, right?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
They put me in the hospital last year, but so good.
That's we're good now.
It's the bitters that set it off, man. I could just, I drink that all day.
Yeah.
No,
I always take a bunch to make that at the beach.
Croc, because you failed entirely, you are blown off of this thing. Give me another fitness and security check.
I imagine he looks like a Muppet, like, tumbling.
It instantly failed the stay with the ambassador challenge.
Yeah, the ambassador's fine, but you just get knocked right off this platform.
Okay. How much
How does the
momentum we
ambassador
got?
react? What did the ambassador say to Croc
6
falling?
momentum.
Huck is sticking his
Okay.
entire face into the Christmas tree.
Yeah, we have
Did
6
you not?
momentum. Do you want to spend any of it?
I will spend 1.
Okay. Alright, well, you get
Okay.
it back, and then some, but we're still at 6. So you do manage to avoid injury, and you are able to fly back up to the shuttle. So...
Strong winds, huh? As I get back.
Alright, I'm going to need a difficulty 3 control and con task, because as you approach the government building, you find that the landing pad there has actually been sheared in half by some kind of weapon, making it a very difficult task to land there safely. So, Talk, let's get that control and con task. You still have 6 momentum. Would you like to spend any of it?
Yes.
Yes, I would like to spend 3.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
And I assume that my shuttlecraft operation focus applies.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah, no. So,
Wait,
let's
the
see.
shuttle can try to help.
Oh, that's true. I will let the shuttle have engines and con to help.
It did.
Yes! Shuttle! Let's go!
Oh, our shuttle did
Done,
a thing?
baby ship.
Whoa! Our shuttle never does a thing.
Yeah, but now instantly all the power in the shuttle's turned off.
So the shuttle has to roll a 6 or lower on a 20-sided die in order to help in this particular case, and it rolled a 2. So,
Well,
congrats to the shuttle. So yeah, no, you managed to land safely. Let's see. Give me a reason and security task. Whoever thinks that they would be good at that.
reason security. I've got 6. No, I've got only 13 for that.
Hawk only has 11.
Julian Wren says it's a birthday miracle.
I have 16 in that for reasons.
Good
I
job,
think you
Tegan.
should do it then.
Perfect.
And
Because I
use
only have
momentum
12.
if you want to.
Means
I'm
difficulty
still
1.
waiting for the 3-armed phasers to be
reason
enabled.
security. I probably don't need the momentum. On a 16?
Yeah, it's only difficulty 1.
Oh,
yeah,
no worries.
yeah, I'm probably
We have
fine.
6,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
No, you have 3, but now you had 4. Now you had 3. Now you have 4 because Chesh got
Trigon's
2.
good at everything.
Well, not
Apparently,
everything.
I'm muted. What?
You shouldn't.
Doctor of
No, you're not muted.
Electric IPM says
I think
I'm
we're getting
muted.
trolled.
Ah,
That can't be right. Yeah. I can hear you. Oh, okay. Craig, say something right now.
something right now.
Yeah, that pushed up my volume on my computer audio, so you're definitely not muted.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
somehow I heard you too. So
All right, so there are scorch marks on the government building that seem to have come from some kind of explosive blast. Paret will come up and say, "These seem to be from improvised explosive devices, such as were seen on Earth from the 16th through the mid-21st century, and on
there's a
Teller
thing
Prime
too.
prior to spaceflight."
So what did my roll give me for this?
Oh, you learned that these were explosive blasts that were covering this thing.
Oh, okay.
And then that brought it to the ambassador's attention, who then informed you more about them after having
Got it.
had them brought to her attention.
Did these explosive blasts happen to be made up of alcohol intended to be lit on fire?
No, that would leave more of a not an explosion.
makes
Ambassador, have you any idea what kind of material would have been used in these explosions?
Explosive material.
Phosphate, nitrogen.
seems to know a lot about bombs.
I mean,
I've noticed that. This is why I'm asking.
she is an ambassador. Like, it's important to know that conflict, right?
Perhaps.
Hank, would you be able to
Everyone
scan
has a
for any of the components that the ambassadors just mentioned?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and scan one of the blast marks.
Yeah, there's residue of phosphates and nitrogen.
You did.
Yep,
Okay.
pretty standard explosive stuff.
Would we be able to find out where it came from?
I mean, not unless you have, like, isotopic ratios for the whole planet, which you absolutely do not.
Might be able to tell the direction of the explosion, like the original spot of where it looks like
Oh,
it
they're
went out from, but
That tells us that there were acts of violence in the final days of the civilization's collapse.
Well, it also tells us that the explosives were improvised, and it was likely some kind of low tech attack. Rebels, just civilians going crazy or something, right? Rather than a military attack or something, because that would leave something more than just an improvised explosive. Mark.
Interesting.
protests are something that are common.
All right, let's get into this government center and see if we can start up this wind farm.
Well, the power generator is actually not inside the government center, but you can just reach it from this level.
Let's do that then.
Okay. So, I will assume that you managed to get over there. Give me a reason and security task, difficulty 1.
Dr. Tregan, I believe we established you're the best
Yep.
of those.
Yeah, all right.
You brought along the security officer, but it's the doctor who's doing all the heavy lifting when it comes to the security.
He's more of a
It's all
punchy
reason.
security officer, not a thinky security
Yeah,
officer.
I don't have reason.
The reasoning.
But
not
he's
the-
literally walking next to the ambassador with one of his wings outstretched.
So there is an unexploded device, ordnance type device attached to this wind turbine.
Captain, I don't think we want to. I'm just like doing like an investigation, basically. And I'll be like, I'll take a look at it. Don't touch anything.
Oh, okay. So this improvised explosive device, is there a way that an obvious way to disarm it?
That will require a daring and command difficulty 1 check to remove it.
I'm
and-
really good at that. 16.
Yes, please.
Are there colorful wires?
I'm just calling
Yes.
the captain over. I'm just captain. There's a still active explosive device attached to this. I don't think we want to turn this on without defusing it.
So
Very
the
logical
captain,
culture.
when Tregan points this out, he'll look over his shoulder, see the ambassador. Yes, I see that, and he'll just snatch the bomb off.
Give me a daring and command task difficulty 1.
And how much momentum do we have?
5.
I really super don't want to fail at this. I'm gonna spend 3,
Okay.
even though I shouldn't need to.
He's got no confidence.
Nice.
All right.
No daring, as it were.
So
It's a
4
bomb.
successes. 4 successes means you get that momentum back, and you have successfully removed it. Would you like to deactivate it?
Yes, very much.
That'll be reason and engineering difficulty 3.
You could just throw it into the gale force winds
Commander
and make
Shell-
it go away.
Yeah.
Commander Shelby, could you come over here for a moment?
Sir, yes, sir. How can I help?
I have
I would
the
like
nagging
this
suspicion that
deactivated.
if you screw it would come
Please don't say
back.
anything about it.
Did you just hand me an active explosive?
Commander Shelby, that second part of that order, that's the part I need you to think about right now.
Okay, I guess I could. Right. So we've got 5 momentum. I am going to use 3 of them.
Good call.
And yeah, I'm going to use them all.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Wow. All right. So that was what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He rolled
Nice.
1, 1, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah.
I am going to spend
It blows up anyway.
Brett, and while it did not go off, you did in fact figure out a lot of its internal workings, but then a timer started because there was a fail-safe.
Captain, good news, bad news. Good news is I deactivated it. Bad news is fail-safe timer ticking down. Little scared.
All right.
Awesome. Croc, get the ambassador on the ground. Shelby, get that outside.
Now you know that scene from Batman, the movie where he's running around.
Some
with a
days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
bomb. Yeah, I'm now doing that.
So I'm thinking we have the ship transport the bomb to space.
All right. Give me a control or insight and command task on that one. Difficulty
Don't
1.
get it.
Throw it at our shuttle,
Insight.
Shelby.
Command. Do we have any momentum left?
4.
And what's the difficulty?
1.
All right, I'll do 1 momentum to get 3 dice.
All right. Well, you get that momentum back, and yeah. So Shelby throws it, and it transports, going off into space where you can't see it explode, but it happens before it explodes. So.
That's good.
Thanks for giving me all that threat, guys, so I could activate a bomb.
Actually, I have to give you a little bit more threat. He rolled 3 extra die, and you reduced momentum for 2. So we should actually have 2 less momentum, and you should have 1 more threat.
All right.
You're like that kid that says, "Sir, you forgot to give us homework."
He's not a rules lawyer. He is a rules.
I'm that
public
kid
defender.
because I hate all the other kids.
I am the forever DM, so it's one of those like, oh, no, I see that should have been this other way.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Okay.
I know the feeling, yeah.
So
Ambassador.
I walk over to the captain. I put my hand on his shoulder, look him in the eyes, and say, "Sir, I respect you very much as a captain, but I'm gonna politely request you never hand me an explosive device that is activated again."
Commander Shelby, I will promise that I will not hand you an explosive device unless I have no other engineers around to hand it to.
Good enough.
I was
Next
about
time,
to say,
toss it at him.
is he going to make a promise he can't keep? Don't make an engineer a promise if you can't keep it.
You know, now you're going to have this thing. You're going to have two engineers you can hand it to. You're going to have Commander Shelby or like some Three Stooges guy, and you're going to have to hand it to the Three Stooges guy because you made a promise.
No, what's going to be very funny is when he starts playing hot potato, where he hands
Hold
it to
on.
me, and then I hand it to Shelby.
You're assuming that Captain Hawk would never lie, when in fact you've seen him lie.
Hey, well, that is true. You did say hand. You said nothing about throwing.
Yeah, you got to toss it next time. Think fast. Disarm this.
No, he's just going to put it on the floor and go, Shelby, pick that up for me.
Okay.
Haha, it's a bomb.
So now that this is done, I'll tell the ambassador, good news, the bomb is defused.
As I pick her up from the floor.
That is good news. Alright, so, this is going to take an insight and engineering task, difficulty 2, to get that wind turbine started back up.
Insight engineering, that I've got 16. And I'd say there's some electroplasma power system stuff going on here, right? So I'm going to use that focus.
I'll be generous and say yes, because I think there were a few other times you probably could have requested it and I would have said yes, but you didn't, so I'll let you go for it this time.
It's a plasma-based wind
Oh,
turbine.
I didn't use my focus, though, but oh well, bugger.
Well, let's see, would you have gotten it with your focus? No.
Oh well.
Nope.
Not a 4 or lower.
Well, you could try, using the same trick you used last time, where you just power things up with what power cells you have now. Although, I will tell you that since you failed that and you went into the, you go into the administration building, and there are just banks of computers, so this is going to require at least 3 power cells.
Can we beam extra equipment from the ship? To power this up, maybe a portable generator?
So if you want to bring in a portable generator, it will
that
cost a
costs
couple of
momentum.
momentum, because that is a,
Could I just try to get it working again?
no, you failed. You don't know how to make it work.
I kick it. Did that help?
I think it's worth spending the momentum.
I
I'm
wiped
just
it with
gonna
damp
lean over to
cloth. Does
Captain
that
Hawk.
help?
I'm glad he didn't do that to the bomb.
I mean, to be fair, punting the bomb off the side of the building wouldn't probably have been the worst option available.
I mean, there were
It might
gale
have been
force
if he did that
winds.
before he disarmed it.
Not so bad as handing your chief engineer a bomb and then going, by the way, this is a bomb, de-arm it.
I'm sorry,
Alright.
was there someone else I should have handed a bomb to? I have an engineer for a reason.
To give
Okay.
them bombs!
So, the power generator is easy enough to hook up into the internal systems, and you can power on some of the computers. So this is going to be a new scene, but you're already at 0 momentum, so I don't really care.
See, it only cost us 1, guys.
Yeah, basically. So let's get a control and security difficulty 2 task to successfully locate and hack, or locate files and hack the system.
Is that you, Trigan? I don't know what your control is.
Or
I
No,
thought-
I think that might be our scan boy.
control and security.
Control security, I would have 11, but I have
Yeah.
focus on computers.
Talk had 13, but no focus.
Croc, what's yours?
Me?
Yeah, what's your control security?
It's
Not
12
great.
total.
He's not a control guy. I think
His daring
probably-
security is great.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Lanford's focus probably
Yeah.
beats the.
All right. Do you want to give me any threat?
I'm in a uniform. Can I get my free one for that?
No, because that is an instantaneous spend. You could get it afterwards.
After rolling it, yeah.
Yeah, let me give you 1 threat.
Okay.
The game is more fun when he has threat.
It's true.
True.
All right, so that is enough. You guys are able to access it, and various computer screens pop up with various files on each one localized, meaning that you're all going to have to go to a computer console, and then each of you will individually give me a control, insight, or reason, whichever is best for you, and either security or engineering, whichever is best for you, and you're going to hopefully pass difficulty 2 checks, and give them to me one at a time. So first, Chesh. We're just gonna go in the order that I have everyone on screen. So Chesh, give me the first one.
Yes. All right. And which ones is it?
You can choose control, insight, or reason, and you can choose security or engineering.
All right, I'll do reason security, I guess. That's what I've been doing, so...
Okay.
Do I get a focus for this? I don't know what is, like...
What focuses do you have that you think might apply?
I don't know what's applying.
We're hacking a computer system.
something.
I have espionage.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go. Boom.
Kinda usable.
All right. Well, that is 2
I've been
successes.
rolling double ones all night.
So, as you locate and restore a file, there's a sound of bird calls echoing through the empty chamber. The language is immediately translated from Xindi Avian into Federation Standard through your communicator. And you hear log entry 302001. We came from outside. This planet seemed a perfect place to hide, to grow, to evolve, away from all the others who sought to conquer us, to destroy us. We built our homes here, advanced our art and science. We have become a peaceful, loving species and quickly discovered that we are not alone here on this planet. Beneath us on the southern continent, another civilization already thrives. First contact was awkward. We saw them as sustenance until we determined that they were sentient. We vow to remain in the north, so as not to terrify or anger them. Alright, let's get one of those checks from Commander Chanos. This is difficulty 2. You can choose control, insight, or reason, and either security, or engineering.
I'm gonna roll control and engineering, but I would like to spend a momentum on that.
Well, you don't have any.
Then I'll give you a threat.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I missed. What language was that in?
Xindi Avian.
Xindi.
Got it.
Alright.
I only got one.
Nothing from Chanos. Commander Shelby, let's see you get a control, insight, or reason, plus either security or engineering. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was talk with Chanos. Sorry. Oh, my bad. I forgot. Alright, that is a success. Log entry 390332. The burrowers approached an age of industrialization. They already populate most of the substrata in the southern continent and may be making their way towards us. Leadership has chosen to go to them to teach them by example, help them to build and evolve, as we had, in a way that preserves the planet's natural resources. We are hopeful. Captain Hawk. Control,
right.
insight, or reason, and security or engineering. Uh-oh. I gain a threat. Let's see, Croc.
Alright. I'm rolling insight and security.
Okay.
No.
Not enough. And Lanford, let's see what you got.
Reason and engineering, and does my computer focus apply?
Yes, it does. Alright, that is 2 successes. Log entry 401686. The burrowers are severely fragmented and unprepared for what we have to offer them. News comes to us that a plague now sweeps through their society, a virus linked to our own genetic makeup. It makes them mad, affecting their brains in such a way as to slowly eat away at their cognitive functions while simultaneously triggering massive hormone dumps into the lateral septum area of their brains. This region controls anger and impulse control. Our scientists are already working on a cure, but they are dying quickly. There is little time, and we can get one more round of this. So, let's see. We're going to go back to Dr. Tregan. That is a success with 2 successes. The log entry 421099. The burrowers war on themselves while our scientists attempt to find a cure. We believe they have already slaughtered millions of their own. Our scientists believe we are close to a cure that will cancel out the genetic mutation in the virus, rendering it a predator with no fangs. Bacterium, because I'd already decided that. I fear we are too late. There are rumblings beneath us. They have crossed the sea, underneath it, and even now climbed to the surface of our continent. Have they come for us now? Alright, talk. Let's see what you got. Control, insight, or reason, and security or engineering. Not quite. Alright, let's get one from Shelby. Alright, that is a success. Log entry 422574. The cure has been provided to the borrower scientists. They have managed to disseminate it. However, something has gone wrong. It has failed completely and utterly. Not only that, but my own people become sickened with a bacterium similar to what struck the Duratus. We die within days of exposure. We are unclear as to how this is possible. Volcanic activity has increased 100-fold, and smoke blankets the northern hemisphere. Through it all, the borrowers continue to hate us and attack us at every opportunity. Many of our cities have toppled to the ground due to explosive devices planted on our perches and in our homes. Soon there will be too few of us left to do anything but hide. They follow us, hunt us. They blame us for the end of their society. How could this be? We were correct in our calculations. The cure should have worked. It hasn't, and once again we find ourselves on the edge of extinction. Alright, let's get one from Hawk. Captain Hawk. Alright, that is a success. Log entry 430013. There are so few of us left. Less than 24, in fact. Out of the few thousand that first arrived and thrived on this perfect world. We've been approached by burrowers who say they are unaffected by the bacterium, and wish to help us end the carnage that destroys 2 civilizations. A small group comprised of both our species have chosen to band together to find a way to save what is left. We shall once again leave the confines of a planet and travel into the unknown. We shall send a call for help and hope someone comes in time. Alright, Croc, what do you got for me?
I'll make a roll.
That's a success! Alright, final log entry. My name is Governor Sivra. My people fled a civil war that almost ended our existence, only to find ourselves living yet another disaster. One of our own creation, perhaps. In our efforts to protect ourselves and hide from the brethren who wished to destroy us, we have isolated ourselves into extinction. We can only hope a friendly spacefaring species might arrive to save us from ourselves. I am one of the final members of my kind alive. We have no way to send help to our station in space, but we have one last hope. Perhaps sending the seeds of our future elsewhere will allow us a third chance to get it right. May the stars always guide us and protect us.
The embryos, they were Xindi?
Some of them
There
were.
were 2 varieties, Captain, so it looks like they may have saved both races as best as they could.
So let's be clear, the Xindi came here and some of their genetic makeup caused a virus that wiped out the other species.
Or at least caused them
Bacterium.
to, a bacteria
Become
to
feral,
fight,
yeah.
to become feral. It's not explicit that the other species has been wiped out because some of the members were immune, but
They
That's
may
true.
be somewhere else on the planet, it's possible, but not likely with those numbers.
I think he called them burrows or something,
The
so they
burrows.
might be underground.
Burrows, yeah.
yeah.
What?
We're gonna get
interesting.
bird people and mole people. Let's go.
They're centipede people.
Ooh, they're bugs.
Yeah,
The,
bugs.
The bacteria made them violent, so even if they were immune, they could have been killed.
Let me get
That's
a...
a good,
Oh, sorry.
good job that our intern retired, because they could be hungry right now.
Let me get an insight or science... insight plus science or medicine check.
Oh, that would be
I
me.
got-
Infectious diseases will count as a focus, so probably
That
Dr.
would
Tregan.
be me. Do I get a double focus for xenobiology?
Well, since focus is either yes or no, no.
I thought you were
What
going
if
to
you
say
can
yes.
get yourself a star-crossed?
Unless you want
There's
to
only
count
one, yes.
2 yes as 1 no.
Yeah. It's yes and yes. You still get to have it.
Yippee!
If you get yourself a star-crossed medal, you can do it once a mission.
There you go.
Ooh.
All right. So that is one success, which is good enough. So you discover from the various logs about like infection rate, and like die-off rate from the virus that you can find that there's the only way that this could actually kill off this number of people this quickly is if it were airborne. And give me a reason in medicine task with difficulty 2.
Reason medicine difficulty 2.
Maybe we should give him threat, because this sounds important.
Yeah, I would agree.
How much
Can
threat
I
are you going to
get-
give me?
3 dice for this, please.
Yeah,
Threat.
so 1 threat.
He's nearly got planet destroying power.
All right. So, it seems like the artificial airborne pathogen was released into the skies via the volcanic ash. And the volcanic activity coincides with the Duradan tunneling in the northern continent near the active fault lines.
So is this like the ice caps melting and a disease just kill everybody? That sort of kind of situation?
It's like a situation where something essentially fabricated due to the cross-contamination of something from space got into, because of the tunneling of the burrowers, got into a volcano, which then at some point exploded and fissures moved, as a planet does, and shot it into the air, which drifted it all the way over to these guys.
Hey, Lanford, give me a insight and science check, difficulty 1.
Told you they got killed by renewable energy and 5G.
Yep.
Well, okay. That is a failure.
Lamford's got
Do
nothing.
it better.
Does anyone else want to take a difficulty 1 insight and science check?
I will
I'll
try
give it a
dip.
go.
I can as well.
There you go.
Well, Shelby,
Maybe you should have let me do it.
Whoops.
all right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to introduce a complication.
Of course you are.
There is a little bit of an earthquake happening, and there, in fact, is a volcano erupting, which is making it unsafe to stay here. However, as the volcano erupts, you realize that the bacterium could never survive the thousands of degrees of the heat of the volcanoes unless the bacterium itself were encased in some kind of artificial capsule that protected it until the ash was cool enough to spread, which
Whatever
means
this is intentional.
this wasn't an accident. This was biological warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This.
By somebody.
Oh no, the treatment failed. Feels like someone did that on purpose.
It does. Okay, well, we have to evacuate anyway.
Captain, perhaps we should investigate these tunnels and see if we can find the ones that go to the southern continent. It may reveal more about the attack from the Duradan.
I concur.
Sure, but let's get safe first.
Alright, so
Get out of here.
I'm not going to make you have too many rolls for getting out of there, but I will say we are on to Act 3, which means it is time for the next supplemental Captain's Log.
Dun, dun, dun.
Third act?
Mm-hmm.
Captain's Log, Supplemental. It appears that no good deed goes unpunished. Through logs discovered in one of the Xindi government centers, we believe we've discovered what happened to the Xindi on Alpha Duratus 2. The question haunting us all now is, why would the indigenous Duradan do this? The Xindi helped them evolve and grow as a species. What happened that caused them to turn, that helped to turn to hate, and that hate to then turn to genocide? It's clear now that the answers to these questions must be discovered among the Duradan, somewhere on the southern continent. Tunnels created beneath all the major active volcanoes in the north lead directly to the south, where we know the Duradan civilization once lived, or perhaps still do.
Alright. So,
At least we don't have to worry about the Prime Directive anymore.
probably not. Yeah, that's probably not too much of a concern. So, you take the shuttle and land near a suspected Duradan tunnel, which is nowhere nearly as difficult as landing on one of those perches a mile up. Numerous caves dot the landscape, and the shuttlecraft sensors detect indigenous life across the entire area, but due to high levels of magnesite in the crust of the planet, they cannot penetrate much farther than 50 meters into the cave. Give me an insight and security task with difficulty 0.
I'm pretty good at that, so...
Go for it.
Bird.
What's your total number?
Good bird.
My total
17.
number is... Yeah.
That's
As high as it can be, I
yeah,
think.
literally the maximum. They can't go higher than that. Alright, so you got 2 momentum for getting 2 successes, and also, all nearby fauna has fled at the approach of the shuttle, moving towards the caves, and there are intermittent life signs that blink in and out in the cave. Let's see.
So things are moving.
Yep, and you can also tell that light only penetrates about 10 meters into the cave. Past that, you will need some kind of artificial means. Good thing you're all in spacesuits that have attached lights.
Yeah.
So, y'all going in the cave?
We are, in fact.
I will lead the way in case they are violent.
Okay. Well, 50 meters into the cave, the passage branches off in 3 separate directions. One branch continues forward and diagonally, and then there are 2, diagonal to the left and diagonal right. Let's see. I would like a reason and medicine task, difficulty 1.
That would be me.
That is not me, for sure. That is my lowest possible.
Nailed it.
All right, that is in fact a nail. So it turns out that the life signs, which are of indeterminate nature, are on the left-hand pathway, approximately 25 meters from your present location. There's no life signs ahead or to the right. And the tunnel descends fairly rapidly at about a 20-degree angle, while the side passages remain fairly flat.
Captain?
These things
So,
like
just to be clear,
maybe down.
the outside fauna is taking shelter in these caves, and we're detecting life signs like the fauna down one tunnel.
Well, they're indeterminate life signs.
Okay.
So there's
And
a chance
then
it could be the Duradans.
we have 2 side tunnels and then one that's going down.
Yeah,
And the one that's going down does not have the life signs.
correct.
All right. Then I think that the side tunnel is where the animals are hiding. We don't want to mess with the local wildlife. Do not mess with the wildlife. And so we'll go down the tunnel, unless someone else objects. I'm open to suggestions.
I think that they like to burrow, so going down is my vote.
All right, down it is.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I will spoil. If you watch the trailer to this, that means that one of those scenes just doesn't happen.
Oh,
Sadness.
this is when the DM's like, I fucking spent a week preparing that.
No, I didn't. I spent, let's see, making the model of the cave from that was about an hour. Making the cool little, like, glowworm stuff was another hour-ish. The creature model was about 4 hours, and the animation was like another hour. So I spent a good part of one day of a weekend.
All
I mean,
that
it was
means
still
is
a-
everybody go back and watch Dapper's
Yes.
trailers because
Yes.
they're actually like underrated. Like actually go and watch the
Yeah.
trailers because he's
That is-
fucking
Yeah, that is
awesome.
several hours of Dapper's life that we've now wasted.
I don't
so
care
everybody
about
go
how
back
much
to his
time he
main channel.
wasted doing
and
it.
subscribe.
Go watch it. It's cool.
Yeah.
So one thing that was actually a lot of fun was I came up with a way to procedurally make little glowworm strands that go both across the cave and also like drip down. And I just scattered a bunch of points, and then I had them all use ray casting to connect to the ceiling, and then I connected them all with curves, and then made the curves droop down, and it was a whole big thing, and it was really fun. So
It looked really cool.
thanks. Anyway, you
Watch
go.
it. I just linked it in the chat.
No,
Yes.
So talking about Dapper's Blender stuff he does. Back when I was streaming, we were doing Aliens Fireteam Elite. Dapper joined me and a friend of mine, and he was sharing some of his Blender stuff, and both of us stopped playing mid-stream to look at Dapper's Blender stuff over the game.
The Xenomorphs just ate them. They didn't care.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, they did do that anyways.
Yeah, well, that was always going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. So the center path leads to a vast open cave, at least 100 meters high, several kilometers long, and half a kilometer wide. Holes in the ground, about 1 meter in diameter, lead down into the darkness. There are no life signs that you can detect, and sensors can't penetrate the magnesite surrounding the walls or the ground. But when you shine a light on it, it shows that there is a solid floor about 3 meters down.
Okay.
Want me
Can
to
we
scout
climb-
it out or what?
Yeah. Croc, why don't you scout that out?
Okay.
All right, I fly down.
Let's see. So, yeah, you can get down there, no problem, because you can fly. Let's see. So you shine your light
As
around.
in D&D, a fly speed is OP.
It's,
Yes.
I mean, it really is true. Although, here's the thing: if he had not made that check in those gale force winds, he would have been injured and well below where you guys were, and that would have been a whole thing where you would have had to take off in the shuttle, go and collect him. Dr. Trigan would have had to do some treatment. Like, it was a whole thing if he had failed that. All right,
Sorry,
so
guys, we lost our bird. We need a new one.
So you look around and shine your light around, and you can see a vast empty cavern, but as you glance up, you see perches lining some of the walls about 10 meters above you. At the far end of the cave, what appears to be a structure sits ominously by itself. The ceiling is covered in bolt holes, perhaps ventilation to the surface. Much of the cave is covered in a fine layer of soot and ash. It has not been disturbed in quite a while.
Structure down here. Not much disturbed, though.
All right. We will go investigate the ominous structure. We'll have to climb down this rock face, I imagine.
Yeah, so that is going to be a daring or fitness plus command task with a difficulty of 2 to safely get down there without any injuries, including things like sprained ankles, broken bones, stuff like that. I will take a check for what's-her-face.
What's her face?
Or for so-and-so.
I will stand at the ready.
I feel like
to
the only Chesh got that reference.
Important lady.
No, she's okay. I do appreciate, Chesh, that you, of all of us, have got that reference. Hey, I appreciate it.
You said daring or fitness and command?
Yes, sorry.
Oh, and
what would you do without me?
I said that I was gonna catch somebody if they fall.
I would just be bereft of people who get my early 2000s internet references.
Lanford needs to hit the gym.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, Lanford's fitness is terrible.
Okay.
He's a nerd.
So, let's see.
Did anybody fall?
Lanford gets down there, but in getting down to the bottom, which also we're getting at least a couple momentum, he has disrupted the side of the cave, and there's been a little, mini landslide, which will make it much more difficult to get out of here, and, you can't transport out of here because of all the magnesite.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, Hank.
So we'll see. It's very scientific. Gravity will get you down. It's very good at that. I know it seems counterintuitive, but gravity will always get you down.
But what about relative
Gravitational
density?
acceleration on this planet.
What about that time where that gravity gets us around?
So
technically going down.
Look, gravity is close enough to 1G that I'm not invoking any rules for high or low gravity.
Specifically, how close?
8.92 meters per second cubed. I mean,
So we're
square.
slightly lighter
Square.
than normal.
Yeah.
Cubed?
No, square.
Oh shit, we're fucked. Guys,
Yeah.
gravity's broken.
Very
Yeah.
Cube, it's slightly less initially, but it accelerates really fast.
So what actually happens is...
We have become pancake.
Yeah, the reason it's cubed is because you've actually secretly gone into a two-dimensional world where the gravity actually doesn't follow the inverse square law. It's very confusing.
Alrighty.
Still gonna hurt.
Flatlandish.
Hopefully we don't need to get out in a hurry.
Oh, I've turned to the wrong page, and now I'm like, gale force winds, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. That can't possibly be what's up next. All right, so we're switching.
The tunnels.
We're switching the scene. So you guys get to the structure, and you realize that it appears to be made for both Duredan and Xindi species to cohabitate, because in addition to having all sorts of little holes that the foot-long or so centipede Duradans can fit through, there's also got perches all over the place and doors about the size that a humanoid would need. Let's see. I would like a reason and engineering task, which is probably going to be Shelby.
Reason and engineering.
I'm glad we can walk through here.
Yeah, I don't have any focus that applies there.
Lisa points
what's the
out
difficulty?
with that is going to be difficulty 0.
Okay.
Lisa points out that all of my talk about meters per second cube sounds like flurf derp, and yeah, a little bit. All right, so that is 2 more successes than you need. So you notice that there are cans filled with liquid fuel nearby, and it seems like the generators around here are powered by fossil fuels, which you find disgustingly primitive. But you don't have a whole lot of options down here because it's not like there's a lot of wind or solar. So, if you would like, you can start the generators on the outside of the building by fueling them up and just kind of turn them on.
Do that then.
All right, they roar to life with the sound that you don't know this because you've never experienced it, but it sounds a whole lot like a diesel engine just starting up. and it is cacophonous outside, which drives most of you inside. But luckily, once you're inside, the lights come on automatically as if they were on some kind of motion sensor, and a bunch of computer screens flicker on, and Xindi, Avian, starts pouring through the speakers, and like it's just automatically set up. And it says, they are hate-filled. They feel entitled to power and use it without conscience. They are like fledglings, taking what they want without thought to consequence. It was a mistake for us to come here. They need another millennium of evolution before they can be trusted to not kill everything they come in contact with. One sees them and thinks they are mindless, but they are especially intelligent and self-aware. They are manipulative and obfuscate with every word. They cannot be trusted. We have given them too much, too soon, and I fear we shall pay a heavy price for our selfishness. I must escape now, while they slumber, or I will never get out.
Well, that's ominous.
Sounds
So
like
yeah,
they didn't hold each
so
other in
reason
very
why we have
high
the Prime
regard.
Directive.
So yeah, as you're looking around, you realize that while you were initially distracted by all the computers, this whole building is just basically a mass grave. There are the skeletons of Xindis and Duratans all over the place, including in a trench outside the building.
That's not good.
Yeah, we're also switching scenes.
I would like to actually, if I can, collect just a little bit of, if there's bones still here, I would like to collect at least a little bit of each one, just because that might be useful later.
All right, so as you're collecting...
Yeah, of each species.
Yeah, that's what I figured. As you're doing that, I would like you to give me an insight and medicine task.
Alrighty. Do I get a focus for this?
Yes.
Xenobiology.
Yeah, xenobiology.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep, so that is good enough. So as you're collecting and scanning with your medical tricorder, which we probably shouldn't have the ambient noise from the bridge, as I'm realizing.
I'm enjoying it.
I mean, it is nice, right? It is nice ambience. So
Janos is just piping it through to us.
we'll just
Yeah, it's coming through our communicators.
Oh no, your communicators don't work down here.
That's why the music stopped and changed.
Yeah, no, that's why the noise is coming through the communicators, because it's like, they're not connected
Old music?
noise.
Here you go. So as you're going around scanning with your medical tricorder that has the weird spinny thing, you realize that you're able to isolate some of the various chemicals in these remaining bacterial spores, and they share a strong chemical similarity to what on Earth was once called the bird flu. And it seems like these were in fact intentionally designed to kill off the Xindi avians.
I would like to point out that I also have historical medicine, so this is like right up my alley.
Oh, yeah.
And just to confirm, the centipede guys also have it, or have the disease?
So it seems like, based on what Tregan can find, that originally they designed a bioweapon, but something happened, and it started infecting the Duratans. Maybe there was a lab escape, maybe there was sabotage.
It mutated.
Who knows? But it mutated to infect them, but they still went ahead with the genocide plan anyway.
Okay.
Alright, so it was actually the Duratan who were trying to get rid of their invaders with said bioweapon.
If we remember from what we learned from our computer hacking skills, we did seem to find out that the avians attacked the bugs first, and then tried to undo that damage, and it's possible that damage was never rectified.
Right.
And it makes sense that they would have used the volcanic eruptions as a delivery mechanism, given that they were a subterranean species.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's got a good insight in science?
I've got 14.
I also have 14.
I haven't.
I have good insight, but not science.
All right, I'll tell you what. Shelby, give me an insight in science. Difficulty 0. All right. Well, that's a couple more momentum. You guys are back up to 6.
Nice.
All right. So you realize that the last entry in the logs from the government center said something about sending seeds of the future, and you suspect that that might mean that there's another location with cryogenically preserved embryos, or even adults, or juveniles, but something that might be out in space somewhere. And also, I have 12 threat, and I have 6 players.
Oh no!
No.
The Borg are coming.
I'm
Sorry,
spending...
I think the connection's gone again.
Maybe.
Smorgasbord.
Oh man, I can't. I don't know.
I am spending 12 threat because there is now an imminent cave collapse.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right.
I thought he was going to say I'm going to use 12 threat and I'm killing Dr. Tregan. Oh,
No.
well.
No,
Is it
so...
collapsing as quick as the Hawk Tuah coin?
Oh.
20 minutes? Yeah, probably.
All right. So first,
away.
I gotta say, I am just shocked that a celebrity who got famous for oral sex-based automatopoeia might not be on the up and up about investment
Let's
schemes.
not spit words there. She got famous for talking about spitting on a dick. Okay.
Hey, listen,
Also,
don't be
her
jealous that a
podcast
woman
was-
got famous for doing something that men expect women to do.
It was pretty funny.
Also, her,
Look,
her,
I'm not.
her podcast was managed by the Paul brothers, so
Well, yeah.
it's
I'm
not-
not digging on her for how she got famous. I'm just saying, if you thought that therefore lent her any kind of credibility in
Credibility,
the
yeah.
investment sphere, you're a
Oh,
fucking idiot.
But this is like one of the worst.
We have a lot of
puns
those, though.
ever.
everything
Like,
everyone who is a crypto bro or an investment expert on any social media is not more qualified than her.
All right, but we now have a problem. I want everyone to give me a difficulty 1 fitness and security check.
Oh,
Run away.
really?
I'm
good.
spending one of those momentum.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
You get, well, we went down to 5, but yeah, 2. All right, so
The doctor is on
I
fire today.
yeah, she is.
Doc
I
is
did
not
roll.
dying.
All right, so that's 2 more momentum there. 2 more momentum
I
from
will try
Shelby, and we're at 6.
Make sure
Okay.
the doctor doesn't die, or not the doctor, the
Right, so-
ambassador.
You all, man. Oh yeah, she has to roll too. I forgot about her. I mean, she's totally here. What if she's destroyed by a rock?
That wouldn't
Yeah.
be
That would be
great.
very unfortunate.
That
All
would
right.
be really bad.
Dr. Hawk, I would like you to explain what happened to the ambassador while you were just transporting her from point A to point B.
Well, the good news
a rock
is-
fell on her head.
The good news is I rolled a 1 and a 12. No, 1 is 2 successes, so she's fine. And I rolled it on this cool. What do you get? This is a Dune RPG die that uses the same system as this.
Nice.
By the way, the official licensed
Yeah.
Dune RPG uses the 2d20 system. So, if
Yeah.
you like this game system and you like Dune, I've read the book. It's pretty good. You might want to check it out. I'm not sponsored, but hey, Modifius, if you wanted to sponsor me, I would totally shill all your 2d20 products. Just
Yeah.
saying.
No, look, until there's a proper Stargate one, I'm just not happy.
Well, maybe Modifius can get that.
They did just release Stargate Funko Pops.
Nice. All right. So,
Tilk and Carter first came out. I'm thinking I have to get those.
All right. So you guys you guys all managed, including the ambassador, to get out of the tunnel before it collapsed and get to the shuttle. And you can get to the ship without any particular trouble. So you are now back on the ship. What are you gonna do?
I want to make sure these bones are wrapped in like cellophane or something, so they're not going to infect anything else.
We should see if we can figure out where this pod might have gone. If they launched it
Can
in
I
space.
recommend Captain doing a deep scan for power, because it would need power, and it would be one of the only places on this planet that would have power.
I sit
If
down
it's
at
on
the
the
engineering
surface of the
console
planet.
and say, "Boy, I'm sure glad the captain only handed me 1 active bomb during that away mission."
Judge, how deep? Get it like really deep for the scan?
Well, I mean, there's so many holes that we gotta cover that, like, we're gonna have to get right in there.
Yeah.
There's just so many holes.
I will point out that so far Trigan has not asked any aliens for nudes. So
I can't. They're all dead. You
In a
think that I'm
sense.
collecting these bones for any other reason to find out how they procreate?
I mean,
She
that's
does have embryos to look at.
I have embryos, yeah. They've already done the
Whoa.
fucking for me.
all right.
hold on.
Listen, we've got embryos that we're going to have to, like, nuke and make real people again, probably. And to do that, I'm going to have some kind of understanding of their society and some kind of understanding about what they are and how they function so they can properly be medically treated and handled as they grow up. I have a lot of work on my plate right now. I don't appreciate it.
So nudes, please.
That's what it comes down to. Nudes plus.
Okay.
All right. So scan for this is going to be a reason and science task with a difficulty of 2, assisted by the ship's sensors and science. And you guys have 6 momentum, so, like, you know, don't be shy. And I have 0 threat, so again, don't be shy.
So what's the ship doing?
The ship is doing sensors and science.
Sensors and science.
It's sensing the science.
Is that difficulty 2 including the reduction for our talent?
Good point. No, it's difficulty 1 now. So we need 1 reason and science success. And again, you have 6 momentum.
I'm
Commander,
sure we can do that.
You want to spend any momentum or no?
Yeah, let's
Do
do
it.
more momentum.
1? Okay.
And we already
Your
succeeded,
successful feat
Hey,
also
well, you're
gains
back up to
other
6.
momentum, I think.
So, let's see. So you find that there is a low-level power signature that's barely on the edge of detectability, somewhere near the Alpha Duratus star, which is just Alpha Duratus. Thanks, book, for writing star afterwards. Yeah, so, let's see. Give me a reason and engineering task.
Reason engineering. I've got 16.
Dolby.
I'll use I'll give myself 4 die. So
Okay. Alright, so that is 3 successes. It was only difficulty 1, so that gets you 2 momentum back. And it turns out that the power is coming from what you now can see is a Xindi escape pod that's caught in the star's gravitational pull.
Ooh.
Let me get
Get over
a
there.
reason and medicine task.
Trigan.
Yes.
You want to do a reason and medicine task, difficulty 1?
Yeah. Do I get a focus for this?
What focuses do you think would apply?
I'm
Try
not sure what we're
xenobiology.
doing.
Yeah.
In terms
You
of,
were
like,
checking to see if
or-
there's good life signs.
I mean, that's well, that would be xenobiology, wouldn't it?
Not really.
Ah.
Just say no,
It's
but it's
only
only difficulty
difficulty
1. Yeah, do you want to spend any momentum? You have 5.
And
And I'll give you a clue. There aren't a whole lot more tasks left in this game.
I'll use momentum to get 2 extra die. So I think that's 5 momentum.
3
It's 3
momentum.
momentum.
Three
Sorry,
momentum,
yeah, 3 momentum.
The Monty
Yeah.
Python joke in
Wow.
there.
I am on fire today.
Nicely done.
All right. So, in fact, there are life signs detected. You could beam the escape pod on board, but you would have to just go over there, which is pretty trivial.
Well, let's do that then.
Captain?
Yep, Ensign talk. Lay in a course.
All right. You warp over there,
Will do.
or full impulse. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Warp.
Um,
we got
Yeah.
places to be.
We
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah,
there.
so warp 1. If we're going, let's say 1 AU, we went warp 1.1 and we got there in about 6 seconds. It's good.
Warp zoom.
All right. So, you get there successfully. It doesn't take a task or anything. And beaming this on board safely will require a control and engineering task with a difficulty of 2, which is assisted by the ship's engines and con.
Right, I've got a focus and transport and replicators.
It definitely
Control
counts.
Control and engineering, did you say?
Yes. The ship has given you 1 success. Do you want to spend any momentum?
Yeah, I'll just use all those momentum.
3 of them.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay, 3.
figured.
Yeah.
All right, so that is, let's see, 2, 3, 4 successes total, including the one from the ship, which means you get 2 momentum back, so you're still at 3. And yes, you beam it over, and it is now in one of the cargo bays, and I'm assuming that y'all go check it out.
Yes, of course.
All right,
I make sure to be there in case it pops out throwing punches.
Right. So, yeah, you guys get there successfully.
Many legs, many punches.
Yes. So, once it's beamed over, you make the startling discovery that it is, in fact, filled with 50 cryogenic chambers, all with that same symbol that you saw on the previous cryogenic chambers. And there are approximately...
By and large.
There are approximately 1,000 frozen embryos inside these pods. And, let's see. Although a damaged pod...
Species?
Sorry?
Are they mixed species like the other ones?
Yes, the embryos are in fact Xindi and Duratus.
Okay.
Further, there are 20 adults in there. 10 Xindi and 10 Duratus. Captain, I would suggest if you are planning to wake up any of these scientists, to only wake up one Xindi. The Duradans have not been friendly to aliens, and with one Xindi, we could probably contain any threat.
How big is this pod?
So each pod itself, so the pod itself is pretty big. It's about the size of a shuttle.
Okay, about the size. Sorry, that was what I was asking. Captain, would it perhaps be in our best interest to not let anybody on this pod until we bring this pod into our shuttle bay?
Well, I assume that's what we did.
It's in a cargo bay, but like whatever.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
You should get a security team
The
nearby.
question is, should we go back to a star base and let the Federation handle this instead of pulling someone out here where we can't do anything anyway?
We can investigate the mystery here. Now, the ambassador's concerns are valid. However, if they were of the Duratus, some of the Duradan were not harmed, were not affected, right? And you would.
Some of them were not part of this, yeah.
So one would expect that the Duradan who were put in cryogenic chambers would be of that group.
Is it possible as well that we awaken them sedated and move them to individual rooms within the ship in quarantine, and then we can question one of each without them knowing the other one is alive and well?
Captain, that seems like more appropriate for a starbase, not a ship.
I thought you wanted first contact, Ambassador. This is your chance.
I do, but only if it's safe.
First contact isn't always safe.
Well, what's the danger? There's only 2 people. Surely we can contain 2 people.
Oh, if
we do have a brig.
I may have misunderstood. I thought the doctor was suggesting that we awaken all of them.
No, we awaken one of each first, but isolated from each other.
I would still suggest we first wake up one Xindi, and then proceed.
Go on from there.
All right, but I think it's important for us to get all perspectives. We can start with the Xindi, but I think we should eventually get both perspectives.
All right,
I agree.
So, are you moving one of the Xindi?
I have to run real quick. I'll be right back.
Are you moving one of the Xindi to the brig, or are you going to sick bay? Or are you doing it here? What's the plan?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Well, we should do it in sick bay. We also can keep them safe in sick bay, but then they're not prisoners; they're patients.
Okay.
Yes, in quarantine.
So, it's not very hard. It's not even going to require a task. So you wake up one of the Xindi, and what do you do? It's coming awake, and it's now looking around, and it seems...
It's a bird, right?
Nervous, yeah.
Bird people?
Yep.
We have a bird person. Go, bird person.
Well, hold on.
I am in the
here.
room, for sure.
Yeah.
I am in the room, for sure.
But we'll have the ambassador here as well, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But when the person comes back to consciousness, I'll say, welcome to the USS Lexington.
It seems startled, and it looks and says, You can speak Xindi?
No, that's a translator. Like,
Oh.
a machine.
What are all of you?
We
am
are
an
all
Aurelian.
members. Yeah, sorry.
Eclectic.
Yeah, I just say I'm an Aurelian.
But more importantly, we are all members of Starfleet,
What is that?
a spacefaring organization dedicated to meeting new life and new civilizations, like yourself.
All right, give me insight and command task. It's only difficulty 1, and you have 3 momentum if you need it.
I would like to be monitoring this individual in the meantime.
Spend
So
1.
spikes in brain activity, spikes in
Well, then it comes back.
vitals.
All right, yeah. So you've managed to be calming enough that the Xindi is willing to talk.
We are the
Joe.
Borg. That would have been funny.
We've recovered your pod and the other pods that were in the space station in orbit above the planet, and we were wondering if you could tell us what happened.
Well, we were launched in hopes that the pod would track to after possibly centuries or millennia, to some other life-suitable planet that we could all colonize.
Nah, man, you were heading towards the sun.
Well, I guess we failed on that one then. Thank you for rescuing us, I suppose. But, yeah, we were... So, my people escaped from the Civil War on Xindus. Do you know what Xindus is? It's my planet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're aware of the. Well, we thought actually that your species of Xindi were extinct. We're aware of the 5 other Xindi species. We have met them, and we didn't know any avians still existed. So meeting you is quite exciting.
Do they all still exist?
Yes, there was a war. They were involved in temporal war, and there was a thing. But now they do exist, and we're friendly, and everything seems okay.
Oh, well, I suppose that's probably for the best.
Can you tell us what happened? Why? I'm interested to know. Why did the other Xindi species think that you were extinct?
We had all... Well... So I guess we're the last ones then?
It would appear so.
Yeah. I was hoping that maybe some of us had survived back on Xindus. I suppose they think we're extinct because they can't find any more of us. Which makes me think, please don't tell them that we aren't extinct.
Was there hostility?
There were hostility between all 6 of us. We're all vying for control of resources, land, colony rights on off-world locations.
Because when we met the other 5 species, there seemed to be an uneasy alliance between them.
I hope that doesn't mean they came together in the attempts to destroy my species, but we left before any of that happened.
No, they attempted to destroy humanity.
That's an extra reason why I don't want you to tell them that we're around. Still.
Well,
What? Sorry, go ahead, Croc.
what we could do is contact our higher-ups and see if they can work something, maybe blend you in with another species like mine, hide you in plain sight.
Well, we can get to that in a second, but I'm more concerned with what happened between you and the burrowers.
So,
That's fair.
there was a virus or a bacterium that was infecting them. And some of our scientists came to the conclusion that it might have been artificially created to destroy us. I think they never forgave us for our initial mistakes in thinking that they were mindless creatures that we were, well, eating.
Captain, borrowers might be a racial slur, by the way.
Not against the Xindi.
I'm just letting him know for later.
Noted.
As DM Denver Canada Wing points out, all birds look the same. Facepalm.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, we did find out that you were correct. They artificially created a bacterium to attack you and used the delivery method of the volcanoes to make it airborne.
Yeah, we realized the volcanoes were a vector.
what seems to have happened is we're not sure why, maybe some kind of lab accident, maybe some mutation, but the artificial bacterium they created started infecting them before they got round to attacking you. And I think they decided to go scorched earth because they were going to die anyway. They still launched it against you.
That does seem plausible, given everything I know from what I experienced down there.
So given that you were in a cryochamber along with some of the indigenous species, are those members who did not agree with the rest of their compatriots' attacks on you?
Yeah, so they were never really fans of the genocide idea, but one of the side effects of the bacterium was that it drove most of the burrowers mad with bloodlust. And so the only ones who were willing to cooperate with us were the ones who, one, had some natural immunity, and two, already didn't hate us enough to want us to all die, which, as you might imagine, is a small subsection of an already small subsection of the population.
Well, now it's 100% of the population.
Not 100%. I have my companions from the escape pod.
She's saying it's 100% people who aren't hostile towards you.
Sorry, I'm still waking up.
Yeah, no worries. You take your time.
Get this bird some coffee.
What's a coffee?
Already here.
You'll like it, trust me.
I sort of take the hand of this individual in order to try to calm him.
The wing, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah.
The wing.
The appendage.
You're both birds. You have so much in common.
I was going to say put wings in the chat, but I realized that I don't have a fling emoji on this channel. That's my main channel.
No, damn.
Put them in anyways. Wing it up.
They literally can't.
God,
I know.
What would you like us to do with you and the surviving Duratus?
So our hope was always that we would be able to find a life-supporting world that was not otherwise inhabited by any civilization or any other, sentient species, and we could maybe just rebuild.
Well, Starfleet
should be within our capabilities.
Starfleet is exploring and finding new worlds for colonization, so...
Ambassador, what do you think Starfleet's stance would be on this?
Well, I think we could find a planet. I think, and perhaps I could be a mediator between the avians and the other Zindi. At that point, the Zindi here says, no, I would rather they just continue not know where we are. In fact, if your Starfleet could just not make public where we settle at all, I think we could use a few hundred years of
recovery,
some time to build up a new integrated society before we to collectively rejoin any kind of interstellar travel or trade or worse,
Captain.
Tax.
May I speak with you in private?
Of course. Give us all a moment.
I stay with the individual just to have some stability there.
My name's Kala Z, in case that helps.
Hi, Kala.
Hi.
So, I'll leave the ambassador in charge there while I step aside with the doctor.
I go to high five Kala and realize that it's a wing.
Well, it's a wing with, fingers on the end of it, so, it kind of works.
Captain, we are already under loose orders from the more underside of Starfleet. It may be in our best interest, instead of contacting Starfleet proper, we contact them instead.
What's your concern?
Well, it's not going to be that difficult for them to intermingle incidentally. Starfleet is also going to want to keep tabs on them, whether they like it or not, and it's also not great that they're already making bioweapons. So it's not impossible for them to get information on us. It's not impossible for us to get information on them. Starfleet might agree not to interfere directly, but it would also be good to keep contact, at least loosely. If we don't let normal Starfleet or front-facing Starfleet know, we'd be able to keep them under wraps a lot easier than normal channels.
Thank you for your suggestion, Doctor. All right, I'll return to the group and say, well, it is beyond the authority of the people in this room to promise you that, but I will communicate with my direct superior, and I kind of make a quick eye over to Dr. Tregan, and see what they can work out.
All right. That is actually where we are going to call it today. I will let you know that Admiral Stoker is in fact amenable to allowing the Xindi and the Duratans to settle on some planet, and she is also willing to keep all that classified by Starfleet on a need-to-know basis for Starfleet captains only. Well, and admirals and whatnot who need to know.
I also like to point out that we likely also spoke to one of the other race before we do all of the things.
Sure.
Yeah.
The question I was going to ask is, are they both going to be on the same planet? But
yes.
If we don't know that, that's fine. Yes?
Yep, they're both going to get the same planet. All right. In that case, guys, thank you so much. Let me take a look at what the plan is for next time, because we do already have this campaign mostly planned out. Also, I do want to say that we are not doing any Christmas break. There was some... I did ask, like, hey, do people want to play on the 27th? Which is, during Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, because for some reason they get to be all of them all at the same time this year. It's usually only 2 of them at the same time, whatever. But yeah, so there's that. And then, so yeah, we're not taking a break for that, but come back next week, assuming that we are all good to play and no one has any problems. For episode 11, we came forth to contemplate the stars. There should be a teaser trailer for episode 11 soon-ish. All right, thank you very much, everybody. I'm gonna send it over to the end credits. We're gonna stay here. We're gonna do some after the show stuff, but yeah, we'll talk to all of you later. Hey, before you leave, I just want to take a second to thank my patrons and channel members, especially those pledging $20 or above. Ben Tovand, Ferravara, Tapioca Weasel, Whispers, Eleron Teller, Ian Chen, Kelvin Brostick Van Manen, Landon Knoll, Mabdy Babdy, Wallace, Max Cherry, North Texas Fossils, John Ackerman, and Strawberry Vein. It's because of my channel members and patrons whom you're seeing on screen that this channel can stay afloat. Without you, it would all shut down. If you want to join the team, there's a link to join the channel below this video, and there's a link to join the Patreon in the description. On the Patreon, you can get a 10% discount for pledging annually, and either way, you get early access to virtually all of my scripted videos, often 3 to 5 months before they come out for the general public. Thanks for watching.